according to my sources, things are definitely okay for us to start the show. That's good. We'll press that button here. Welcome to ShineCast, everyone. The bits you don't usually see on other shows before they go live. But right now, for some reason, it'll come up eventually, I'm sure. But for now, it's not playing ball with me. I don't know why. There's always something with the technology, and particularly when we're waiting in the background, there is Jimmy Heaven, our friend there from Japan. Ah, there he is. Hey, whoa, oh my goodness me. Right, let's go back to that. Just a moment, Jimmy. Just making sure that all channels are working here. That's the various platforms. It shouldn't be rocket science. It isn't. I think that, oh, there we are. That's what I was looking for. Good. It is actually, can't believe it. It's working. Right. Without further ado, people, we press that magic button and the show begins. I thank you. And it does begin. There we are. It's ShineCast, everyone, on Friday, the 5th of March, 2021. How are you doing? How's your week been? That's the last time we were speaking here was 7 days ago. Someone else that always joins us, of course, is there. Where is he? If I press the magic button, he should be joining me right now. It's Jimmy Heaven. I don't know who that other person is there in the dark, but we'll soon fix that. Jimmy, I know we've got to unmute your microphone. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Yes.
Cheers. Good afternoon. Good evening. Good morning. Good night.
Depending
Happy
on what time of day or night people.
Tea time for you, huh?
Well, no. Hold on. Well, as we say this, it's 16 minutes to the hour of 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Now, I wouldn't normally be holding one of these to the side. But I tell you, there's some drinking going on here.
Let's see the front of it. Let's see the front of it.
Now, this is nothing to shout about. A lot of people would say.
Hallway number 8 menorah. What is this? What is this? What is that?
Well, you're obviously 2 behind for some reason there in Japan. I guess it's the time zone. It's a number 10. Just want to clarify what you're seeing there.
Yes.
Yeah, Pullman number 10. Well, that's been around consistently for many years. It's really more of a dessert wine flavor taste. And, that bottle hasn't been opened, but there is another one somewhere around here that has. And I thought just because we're talking with you today, Jimmy, I would certainly join in the alcoholic beverage situation, should we call it?
Where is it from? Was it like Israeli wine?
Yeah, Israel.
That's why it's called the menorah.
There you go. You see. So,
is it the kind of wine is called the menorah wine, or was that just what is that?
This is very much associated with the Passover festival, and that's really where a lot of people will know it from that background from Judaism. But it happened to be just to the side here. Couple of bottles,
great.
And a lot of people will tell you it tastes more like grape juice. It's very, very fruity, and I would suggest a lot of people don't even consider it to be a.
No. I would say is it like a port? Is it like a port? What is it, like a port?
I think it's probably more like a sherry port than anything else.
Okay, I love that.
Very sweet.
I'm doing a Chianti.
I thought you might be, because that's one of your regulars, right? And it's
it's one of the regulars, yeah. When I get lazy choosing stuff, I just buy the same crap. But it's not crap; it's good crap. It's good crap.
That's the point. You see, that's the C stuff is good so long as it's good. Yeah, absolutely. Happy Friday from Memphis, Tennessee. Can't stay long. Going to get to work. Ooh, yes, there you are. Is that one of your friends possibly out there joining us?
I'm looking on Facebook. This is Zeba. This is a friend that I've known since I was 15. So she was she was about 14, 13. So we've known each other from was it junior high school or something like that? This is in Denmark. We went to same school in Copenhagen.
Wow.
Hi Zeba, if you're listening, if you're there. She says she has to go. So yeah. because
Well,
they're,
it's early.
they're morning time there.
I was just going to say it's early there now. 13 minutes to 3 p.m. here in London and the rest of the United Kingdom, which means it's something like Memphis, Tennessee. They're either on Eastern Standard Time Zone, which I think they are, if not Central.
What?
So
No,
Eastern is.
Central, Central. I think it's Central.
Is it Central? I'd say 5 or 6 hours behind. So it's 9 or 10 a.m. the top of the next hour for them there. So yeah, awesome stuff. Thank you for joining us. Don't forget you can watch us on Facebook, on Twitter, on YouTube, and certainly on haps.tv, the website, if not one of their apps on iOS or Android. Go check out haps.tv because it's all happening over there, no pun intended. You can watch us still currently just for a few more, handful of shows on Periscope, and people listening to this, goodness knows, at some point in the future, although it isn't the future now if you're listening to it, if you see what I mean on the replay. Anyhow, Periscope, yeah, that was originally what was considered Twitter Live, but it ends on March 31, 2021. So counting down the days now.
Well, so sad. Even though I was really never into it, I never got into it. So
it was. I think it certainly has run its course because they haven't developed it any further. But it was one of the first excellent attempts, and more than just an attempt. That's almost an insult.
No, I recall you years ago talking Periscope.
The great thing about Periscope was the discoverability. People can go over to the app, and there's a globe there, a map, and you can see when people are live and where they're actually live. And it's great because you might decide you'd be waking up in New York, USA, in the morning, and think to yourself, I wonder what's going on in London right now, or Paris, or Milan, and you can just click on people if they're live there, and when, or watch the replays if they're not live. So yeah, I understand they're going to introduce a map for discoverability and for the location of broadcasters on haps.tv.
Great.
That can't happen soon enough now. I'm surprised they haven't already.
I mean, I guess that helps with time zones, so you know who's awake or who's not, or what the situation is, and what kind of subjects you'd be talking about.
Yeah, on Periscope, it does actually show you whether it's day or night. You know, they've got.
There's a big problem with the language, though. There's a big problem with the language. Like right. I'm living in Japan, so I want to try to get some friends. Like say, hey, you should get onto Haps. You should broadcast on Haps. But unless it's just something I can't find in the settings that it's just in English. So, or they just don't have something set up for that yet. So
I'm pretty sure it is only in English. But I mean, you speak good English. Is it a problem for you if you were a broadcaster trying to use Haps? I mean, you're there now. You're in the background there and on the studio using it.
No, I'm gonna let you handle it, so I don't have to do that stuff.
Well, on this occasion I did, which is why we pretty much got it going first time, right? Yeah, but still, you've had your go here and there, but there's nothing stopping you. You have your account, you can play around with it.
Yeah, I know, and I should be. There's a lot of stuff I have to say.
Wait a minute, Jimmy. You have your account set up, obviously, otherwise we wouldn't be having this conversation. You're connected to what? Your Facebook and which other social media?
I'm on like 2 pages on Facebook, on my YouTube, and then it's on Twitch, which I never use, but I have this hooked up to Twitch. I have no idea. I just signed up for Twitch and have it hooked up. So we'll see what that's about.
Twitch is the latest addition to the group of platforms that Haps simultaneously broadcasts onto, which is great, excellent stuff. Don't forget, as we say, do like and follow, please do. And you see even those little glitches there. Can you see that on the screen where it says, hey, share, like, ampersand, follow? Ampersand, don't know if you just saw that, Jimmy.
No, I wasn't even looking.
Well, if someone types a comment and you have the and sign rather than AND, you put the little ampersand, then it doesn't always, get translated correctly, certainly when it goes on the screen here on Haps. I got Haps. You got Haps. That's good.
I got Haps, but he's commenting from Facebook. So what's the point?
Well, the comment still is available for others to see, so long as we can stick it on the screen.
But I can't share it. That's the problem with here. I can. Look, they changed it.
Oh, Jimmy's learning as he's using.
No, that's a new feature. So I actually now here. See, David, I got your comment on Haps now. Yeah,
thanks for being there, David. And that's all good. Well, as I say, this can only get better. And it is getting better all the time. Artists
it is.
Yeah. One step at a time, Jimmy.
Yeah.
You see, there you go. Particularly with that glass in the other hand. Yes, absolutely. Someone knows you well
One
there.
sip at a time.
Jimmy, I was wondering, totally changing the subject, or at least just putting in a left hook, really, of conversation, is that when someone in the UK reaches 100 years old
Yes.
and it's their 100th birthday, they receive a telegram from the Queen. Did you know that?
Well, I think I've heard that. I mean, yeah. And what did they reset? Now she starts at zero again. I think
I'm surprised.
it,
Well,
it was
I
some
don't know.
countries where they reset to zero, like they accidentally send you like welcome you back into the world.
Well, that would be good in aspects of you wouldn't have to pay tax anymore if you still were at 100
Martin,
years
I
age, I
cannot. What
suppose.
are you drinking out of? What is that? Like some kind of cough syrup
Mm,
cup? That's like
mm.
an insult to the bottler.
It's a
Okay.
cough syrup cup. But listen, going back to
No,
this point
no,
now,
no, no. At least you don't have to get the expensive Baccarat or whatever, but you can at least get some was it Bohemia Crystal? Oh, that might work too. I'm down with that. But that plastic cough syrup cup, come on.
Jimmy,
No matter how good it is, you're
plastic cough
downgrading.
syrup. Goodness me. So it would have been better if I just didn't have anything at all today, as usual, right?
No,
And
I'm
then,
trying to educate you. You need to listen. The vessel that you eat or drink out of, it changes everything. Changes everything.
right. Yeah. So when you go to a fast food restaurant and they stick a big cardboard cup there in front of you, small, medium, or usually large, extra large size, yeah, then you have a
That's
big,
soda.
these days,
That's
paper
so. But
straw.
that's
What? Not
soda.
necessarily. Okay.
Well, I'm not drinking beer out of that. Was it the clear plastic cup? Okay, I mean you're outside. Hey, you have to make an exception, but you're at home.
Right.
At
No one
least
can say.
glass. Come
No one
on,
can
at
say.
least glass. At least
Jimmy,
glass.
I'm getting back to the topic I was just bringing up with the Queen because, as I say, people
Yeah.
do receive a message I don't know if it's a text message these days or an email instead of the traditional telegram, but certainly a letter you get from Buckingham Palace. But I was
Yeah. Well,
thinking,
that's great. That's great.
who does the Queen receive a message from when she's 100?
She receives it from everybody. We're talking about the BBC. What are you talking about? Everybody. I've been seeing a lot of the Queen. She's in
Mhm.
my face all the time recently, because since I've been collecting coins,
Yes.
silver coins, and the
Hmm.
problem is that because England had colonized half the fucking world, that she's on every coin from almost like most of the countries that I'm collecting. So
Hmm.
now, and I received a new coin. Well, not a new coin, an older coin. This is my
Yeah.
newest one. This is a great
Mm.
one here. And again, you can see here Elizabeth the Second, Bahama
Hmm.
Islands. Beautiful coin. See that?
I can now. I was just trying to find out where the audio is, the Spirit audio was coming from, which I know now. Yes, I see that coin definitely on my screen. Excuse me just a
No, no,
moment
no,
while
no, no.
I.
You got. I'm gonna flip it. Now here's the beautiful part. Look at that. Look at that.
Just bear with me a second because I've got to. I've got
Two
to.
flamingos.
Goodness me! I don't
Two
think you can hear me
flamingos.
half the time. But I see the two flamingos. I have a friend who's definitely loving flamingos. So yeah, I see the two flamingos.
Bahamas.
Now, is it a
Yeah.
fake or is it an original? As you were
No, it's a
saying,
real. It's a real. It's a real silver. Silver. Silver.
you hope, you hope, you hope. Yep,
Nine
I
hundred.
get.
900. 900 silver.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Right. Wow.
So yeah, that's I'm trying to get at least one coin a week. Since we don't go out drinking anymore. Hey, I can splurge on like some.
Well, apparently that's going to change. I don't know when, but hopefully sooner the better. I think realistically, socializing will be back to some form of normality towards the end of this year. Certainly, the holiday season 2021 is when I think the pandemic, we will have more control over it and know exactly how it's evolving, shall we say, COVID-19.
But basically, it's just going to be a cold. It's going to be something like a cold or like a minor flu or something like that. For most
Yeah,
people, it is a minor flu. So for some people, it's like really severe, but for most people, it's just a minor cold or a flu. So I think it seems like a little bit of overreaction that we've seen. It's only only reason I understand why is because the medical staff around the world don't know how to handle it. But in most cases, it's not
Well,
such
it's
too big of a deal.
that's the same for most things when they're new. When
Yeah, yeah,
most
exactly.
things.
Yeah.
So we understand that definitely.
Until
Mm.
China,
So hopefully,
China with it comes up with another one.
did you hear that about the Italians though? This week, there's something to do with the European Union, which obviously they're still very much a
Okay,
part of, and England is not.
good for you
Well,
guys.
they were trying to ensure the EU were putting to place rules to do with the distribution of the vaccine. And
Okay.
Italy, I think they've got a problem with the take up of people actually having the vaccine.
Well, what do you mean?
And
They have a problem with? What do you mean?
I think it's a case of people are not sure if it has been thoroughly tested.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I don't
I
want it.
mentioned I mentioned on another broadcast that I was on this week. I was thinking in my mind if it was our previous one, but it wasn't. You and I, the thalidomide situation. It was really strange. I was listening to the news as I was waking up, and often do on the radio. It wakes me in the morning, and it was about 4 days ago. I heard something as I was waking up to do with thalidomide, and I think the story was about them settling in court. The cases with regards to how the vaccine caused babies to be born with limbs lost, that sort of thing. And it
Yeah,
was strange,
Italy was like they were on the front. They were in the front with
right?
the
Hmm.
vaccine injuries. Yeah. So, I'm not completely against all vaccines, but I think that the vaccine definition has been like tampered with.
Right,
And I don't like this new, was it a medicine or supposedly they're calling it a vaccine, but I don't know if it's like really a vaccine. Because they call it, was it called an MR, was it
what
what's
the you're thinking about the
mRNA, an mRNA, it's an mRNA vaccine. It seems to be something that is like adjusting the genes or messing with the gene structure, or I don't know what it's supposed to do.
yeah.
It's telling the
No,
genes how to react or something. So it's not actually a vaccine. So they're just carrying on the name vaccine, but it's not actually a vaccine.
yeah, I
So
thought you were
already there, it's
referring
fishy.
the mumps, measles, and rubella, the MMR, as you were saying there. Yeah. Hmm.
They're also mRNA. No, 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 no. They're
MMR.
MNR, but this is a mRNA vaccine, so
Hmm.
something different. The traditional vaccine, like you would get a vaccine, and it would prevent you from getting something,
Right.
whether it be tuberculosis or whatever. So it was something that would stop it, right?
I think
Make
the
build
one with to do with thalidomide was the polio
polio, okay. But this
vaccine.
new vaccine's that's not happening. You have to wear a mask. You're going to get it anyway. There's a chance that you can transmit it. So what is it? It's supposed, the only selling point is that, well, it might be a little less severe if you get it. But in most people's cases, it's not severe at all.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
so I don't
well,
know. I'm not too crazy about it. I'm not too crazy about it.
we're all learning as it's happening, aren't we? This
Yeah.
situation is literally
I
evolving before us.
I don't want to sound like a conspiracy theorist, but
Hmm.
I'm in Japan, so there was a two or three different types of vaccines coming. So the ones coming to Japan, I probably feel are probably going to be safe, but I don't know if it's going to be safe for the rest of the world. These companies that are making it a little fishy. Some, I'm a little bit worried for like a country, continents like Lower Asia, India, and Africa. I don't think they're going to get the same vaccine. I don't think they're going to get the same vaccine. I think
I,
there's an agenda behind all this.
yeah, well,
I'm
I'm
not saying it's not an honest. Was it a sickness or was it a? But you know that Bill Gates already had like problems with trying to was it distribute vaccines in India, right?
well, I haven't
A
been
lot of
following that
vaccine
news
injuries, huh?
so closely. I haven't been following that news so closely.
Well, this is because it doesn't. You don't hear about this news close. You don't hear about this news because they don't report this kind of news in the mainstream. Was it European or American news? They don't do
Uh,
that. The Indian and African news is not reported. You have to go out there and look for it. I mean, for me, I subscribe to a few pages from some countries in Africa and some India or whatever, so I know like what the consensus and what their thoughts are on it, but it's a little bit different, So they've this okay. Let's. I don't want to. I don't. I know I hate getting political here, but the population agenda, the population
Yeah.
agenda. The world's
Yes.
too populated, which I don't believe that it's too populated.
You don't?
No, absolutely not.
How
Absolutely not.
about
And if you think that the world is populated, it's known from was it the facts that you can gather, the evidence that you can gather that if economically the people rise economically, that the birth rate automatically falls down. But for some reason, places like continents of Africa and India, they are hindered from economically expanding, I
yeah?
think. And so it's kind of strange. So I think there's going to be an agenda at play here, especially
Yeah,
with this.
well, I'm wondering when you said about you don't think the world is overpopulated at the moment. Could you consider the fact that maybe it is overpopulated in certain areas where the resources just can't handle the number of people? So we need to somehow.
No, 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 no. I can't believe that. I
So
don't
it
think
might
so at
be
all.
better if we sorted out the way the numbers and the populations are increasing in those areas, and perhaps the globe needs to be more evenly populated, shall we say?
Yeah,
Where
but
there's
if it,
probably not
but
so many
okay,
people living in
the whole
the
point
Arctic.
that I understand what you're saying, but the whole point of somebody saying that it's too populated and we have to control the population, that's absurd. That you're playing God, and they don't. Those kind of people don't believe in God, and I
Well,
don't know
control.
God
It
per
depends
se,
on.
but the greater power there is that you, individual as a human, have no say and have no right to tell people that they can't have children or have a family.
Well, as I say, it depends always, always. All your actions, I would debate, depend on the ultimate intent. Yeah. So that's something to always be considered. Is someone doing it for your best interests and for positive reasons? Yeah.
What do you mean positive? Who's doing what for positive reasons?
Anyone, whenever you do anything, whenever I do anything, yeah, when you're giving someone some money in the street, 50 cents, a dollar, and you look at them and you make a quick judgment. We all do. Impossible not to, unless there's something really wrong with you. All right, because of our hunter-gatherer days.
I don't.
Yeah,
I don't think. I don't make any judgment on that. That's their
yeah,
choice.
you
A lot.
say that. Of
Most
course
of
you
the
do.
time, of course. No, I mean, because you know why? I understand that most people like that. It's by choice.
Yeah, because they've made a judgment.
It is choice. It is choice. I've met. I
Yeah.
lived in L.A. There's a big homeless population in LA, and I can tell you
Yeah.
that some people had down and out. They had a lot of trouble and things had beaten them down. But I can tell you a large part of the population on the street is by choice, and whether it may be drug addiction or
Oh, I
maybe
see.
alcohol, it's still there's a lot of people that made a choice, and I had a lot of people that I knew because I tell you the
Mm.
homeless were really great in LA because I like antiques and stuff like that, and there'd be great antique gatherers. People would throw stuff out, and these people would they know what kind of stuff I like because I talked to them. Hey, I give them beer money.
Mhm.
Because I know the rewards of what's going to happen, and they would bring me like antiques, like crazy antiques, and they would give it to you for $5 or $10 because that's all
Ah.
they need for a beer or a shot. Was it hit a crack or whatever?
But as I
So
just said, when you said choice, I was referring to the fact that when you're giving them money to help them, that I was saying you make a
you're not
choice
helping them.
there.
They're getting a beer. They're getting a beer most of the time. Well, I was living in LA, so it's a little bit different. If you want to be homeless, I mean, hey, there's no better place than living in LA. Let me tell you that. Maybe where you live or where I'm living now, there's not many homeless here, but like in New York or I remember like going to Toronto or Seattle where it's a lot colder. Maybe it's not very ideal, but I'm speaking from living in LA. So in LA, it was a pretty good place. If I want to be homeless, LA would be a good spot. It does.
Every major city on the planet has a homeless population and
Sure,
problem.
sure. But
Obviously, some more than
some
others.
places are better than others. Some places are better. Let me tell you something. Um,
Better, better to be a
yeah,
homeless person.
sure.
You mean?
Oh,
Of course,
yes,
of course. I mean,
absolutely.
come on, it's better to be homeless in LA for one reason that surely you're going to have more dry days on the street than not. It's not going to be
And
raining
well,
as much
it
as
doesn't
if
get
you're
so
in
cold.
London.
So I used I remember when I first moved to LA, And I was about 23, so I was living some like was it a weekly, was it an apartment, halfway house kind of deal, and I would also meet a lot of street people, a lot of people just been released from jail because it was like it was also this place I lived in was kind of like a halfway house too. I met a lot of homeless people, a lot of crackheads, a lot of like junkies. I've met everybody when I first moved to LA. Was at 95. It was a very interesting time, and I was working in West Hollywood. I can't remember where
Right.
it was. I was
I think
working
you're
in West
saying
Hollywood.
that's a waitress in a cocktail bar, but carry on.
No. So I was working in West Hollywood, closer to Beverly Hills, and after I would hang out in that area too, even though I was living in Hollywood.
Hmm.
Um, and I would meet some homeless people, and there'd be homeless people like, well, you begging, street hustlers begging for money, and these guys would be banking. They'd be making more money than I was. The homeless people in West LA. The smart homeless people knew where to hustle. So you don't hustle in downtown. You don't hustle in Hollywood. What you do is you move uptown. You more toward West Hollywood and Beverly Hills, and you're getting $5 a pop. And I was talking to this homeless guy. He was trying to. One homeless guy I was talking to was trying to sell his Cadillac. Homeless. He was trying to sell his Cadillac to the
Mm.
parking attendant at Tower Records.
Tower Records. Oh, you mean on Sunset Boulevard?
Yeah, well, yeah. And I would ask him like, dude, like, what are you doing? Like, how do you do this? And he would tell me like, he'd go through the LA Weekly. He would check out events. He would check out like, let's say there was like some kind of like rock star or rap artist. I don't care what, some kind of artist signing records or signing event or a book signing event. He'd go to that event. He'd go to event and hang out. And guess what would happen? These people, they're happy as shit. They just got their book signed or their record signed or their CD signed by their favorite artist. They come at that thing is like $5, boom, $10 right away, boom. It's like $5, boom, $10, right? You'd be making money. They'd be making money. And
Cool.
some of these, you got to be a hustler. You got to have that hustler spirit to do that. You'd be making money. So I was pretty impressed by that. I was like, wow. And that's okay with me. I have no problem with that. Anyway, I
Yes.
thought that was an interesting story. But of course, that's
Well,
LA.
it is LA. LA is a kind of, it chews you up and, well, often for a lot of people, spits them out experience, isn't it? A lot of people going there to find fame and
It's hard.
fortune.
It's hard. It's hard.
Yes, it is.
And let me tell you, there's a lot of competition. There is a lot of talent there, but there is a lot of garbage there too. So even if you are good, it's going to be hard for you to rise up. You got to really be persistent. I tried. I think I was just weak or. For me, I was trying to put a band together, and my biggest problem was trying to put a band together instead of just pushing myself. I had this mentality that I wanted a band and a group, and at the age I was starting at 20 at LA, 23, 24, 25 was a little late. So you got to start a little younger if you want to have the band situation. If you're at the age that I was starting, I should have pushed myself as a solo artist first and foremost. And if somebody came along, then would have came along. So let me tell you a story. So we had a band. I had an awesome band. And I mean, top of the line musicians. I was probably the least musical in the band, even though I'm the lead singer. So what the thing was, we were looking for a drummer. I think I spent a year or two just looking for drummers.
A
And I
year
went
in Los Angeles.
a year or
It's a
two
long time.
looking for drummers, and I probably went through like 50 drummers. No
Right.
shit, like 50 drummers. Well, guess what? If I had been smart, I would have just paid the drummer like 20, $30 to do the gig, and he would have done it, and it would have been okay. It wouldn't have been great and as tight as I wanted to be, but it would have been good enough to go forward. But had it in my heart that no, I wanted to have a unit and a band, and that was a big mistake there that I wasted time on.
Yeah, but will you ever pick up on that again? I mean, I know you're still into music and,
Yeah, I think the drive of was it? Yeah, I think I still want to write music, but I think I'm probably going to look for a partnership to write songs, but I might just do a cover band just for fun. I don't think I have the youthful drive to do it anymore. But I mean
Mhm.
I'm still probably into writing songs. So I haven't written a song in like 10 years. So
Is that because you've just been too busy? Because songs are usually and often based on a writer's, artist's
well, no,
experiences
and
in
I
life.
probably have
So
I
just
have a
all of those over
shitload.
the last decade. Yeah, exactly.
I probably have a shitload, but the thing was, I think that I've been while I was having a band in LA, I had a lot of opportunity come my way that I shut down.
Right.
Like, can you do this? Can you manage this? Can you run this store? I need you to can you do this? And I couldn't dedicate myself. Like, I had opportunities to say, okay, my company wanted me to travel all the world. And I was like, yeah, I can't do that because I got a band.
I
So
can't remember. Do continue.
no. So I shut down a lot of opportunities. And so in this 10 years, I've been just like open to a lot of things, I mean, I'm doing a job. The job I'm doing now is like I'm teaching. It's pretty good. Oh, hey. Check this out. David's on.
He is, and he's telling you that the app is so slow. I know what you mean. I
And
think he means literally.
Martin would be Martin would like agree with you there.
Of
He wa-
course, as soon as you, I think what he's referring to is that when you
you know
open up
what?
the app,
It's in
I don't
development.
know
It's
what
in
which is.
develop.
Yeah, but
Hey,
come
hey,
on, Jimmy, the
dude,
world's in
you
development,
know
you
what?
know.
Hey, Martin, you got to let me invite David because I haven't talked to
Do
him
what
face
you
to face in a
want.
couple of
You know,
years.
if someone wants to come on and talk sense, they're more than welcome to. Hello to Rose Diva Dwarf up there in the northwest of England. I think
Hey,
she's
Diva Dwarf,
thanks for
Rose,
joining us.
how you doing?
But what I want to pick up on is David's comment. OMG, this app is so slow. And everyone saw that on the screen a moment ago, what he said. But my response is, I think he's referring to the fact that when you open the app,
I'm not getting on camera. What the hell, David? It's not like you're ugly.
I never finished my sentence in that paragraph. I'm
sorry,
not
sorry,
getting on
sorry.
camera, David said. Right, okay, cool. That was more important than what I said. That's fine. Okay. I'm happy
Put a
with that.
profile picture
I
up.
really
Put a
am, which
profile
just makes the show
picture up.
program because I end up saying half a sentence and never finishing. I'm going to change my name to Half Sentence Shine.
No, no,
Uh,
no.
how
Let's
are
push
you
through.
both? Well, I am doing in general.
Hi,
Rose
Rose.
said,
Hi,
well, I
Rose.
hope
How
you
you
are
doing?
too. Yeah. In fact, that's interesting. That I don't know whether you know now that Jimmy's just said it twice, but he said hi, Rose, and that reminds me of the geeky side of me when it comes to electronics and all things technical, electrical. There's a connector where you connect two things together, two cables together. Well, a cable onto a device, and it's called a high rose, HIROSE. Go check it out. There you go. So maybe you should change your profile picture to one of these metal connectors as a high rose when you join us. First off,
Well,
anyway, I hope
how
you're doing
Rose?
well.
How I wonder how Rose is doing. I know she was it kindergarten? Was it kindergarten teacher? Kindergarten teacher? I mean, how you doing, Rose? Let me tell you something, Rose. I just started a job doing teaching children, kindergarten kids. I'm only doing it on Monday, 3 hours, 3 hours on Mondays, and I have to deal with about like 9 or 10 boys and girls,
I'm
about
hoping
six,
Rose
7, and 8
okay
years
when it
old.
comes to her own health. That was my first question before anything else. But yeah, I do hope that she's doing good there.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Hey, by the way, Jimmy, what I didn't tell you was we may have someone joining us any moment now
Oh, and I'm all
from
for it.
Saudi.
Randy
Yes,
from
because
Saudi
Randy. Yeah,
Arabia.
I think we shouldn't even delay this any further and bring in Randy from Saudi right here on Haps. If you don't know Randy W. Horton, where have you been? Hi, Randy.
Hey, what's happening? Today is Friday. It's the day I spent on the couch. I have now
Is that right?
relieved myself from a half a day on the couch. I feel better.
Good. Glad to
Great,
hear it.
great, great, great.
Lovely.
So
You look
was it
very.
Randy? You're in Saudi Arabia. Where are you from originally?
I'm originally from Hendersonville, Tennessee. It's a suburb of Nashville.
All right, all right. So and how did you end up in Saudi Arabia?
By airplane.
Really? So you didn't swim? Well, I
No, no.
meant by but yeah. What was the purpose? What was the calling? Was it work? I'm gathering or
I
marriage?
was
Which one?
no, I was living in Southern California in SoCal. I was living down in I think at the time, oh yeah, I was living in on down in Belmont Shore,
Okay.
right on the ocean. We had a nice little condo, the wife and I. I had a great job, and I was living the Southern California life. but I was kind of claustrophobic about it. And I was thinking I wanted to do something different in my life. One day I was down at a store, I think it was a 7-Eleven, and on the counter I noticed a book that said 200 companies around the world with the name and the address and a picture of their CEO. And I said, you know what? I'm going to buy that magazine. I took that magazine home and I made 200 resumes. I hand wrote 200 letters to every CEO, and I went and I dropped them in the post office. I just mailed them. Didn't even think anything about it.
This is a great story already. This is a great story already.
9 days later, some lady calls me from Canada. Hi, we're a headhunter recruiter. Somebody in Saudi got your name. Do you want to work there? I said, okay, let's go. She said, well, wait a minute. We have to design. I said, no, let's just get this. Let's go for it. I actually even took more than a 50% pay reduction to come. I wanted to go and see the world and travel. And the first opportunity that opened, I hopped on and went for it.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, I arrived in Saudi in the early 90s. It was a great place, good people.
Whoa. You've been there since the 90s?
Yes.
And your wife is with you.
She was with me for a while, but now I also have my wife's from the Philippines. We sold our house in the U.S.
Yes.
And I built we have our house in the Philippines. And recently, my daughter went to medical school in the Philippines, so everybody moved to the Philippines.
So you're there alone?
I'm here alone now. Every few months, I go to the Philippines to hang out with the family.
That sounds like a good. I was actually trying to move about 10 years ago. I was trying to move to Dubai, and I went. I lined up some job interviews, and it kind of fell through because it was right when the Lehman shock 2000 was at 9, and suddenly they tried to push the blame onto Dubai for some reason. They tried to put the focus on Dubai, and so all my my interviews collapsed. But I know there's a lot of Filipinos there in that area. Filipinos and Indians. I mean, they support the whole social structure there.
Yeah, a lot of people from Asia working in throughout the Middle East. They always have been since the beginning of time.
Yeah. So you're enjoying Saudi Arabia, and what's the deal? Like, you feel comfortable there, or you're continuing the same job? Is that the deal? I mean, can I ask you, what exactly do you do in Saudi Arabia?
Actually, here I am a business development director of a communications and security company. We do lump sum, large scale, turnkey infrastructure projects from radio to cell, and we work mostly in oil and gas, but we also do government business. So let's say you're outside and you see all the cell towers everywhere. Well, somebody had to design a system that would work from sea to sea to shore. So we do the design and implementation of nationwide or just industrial wide communications.
Amazing. It's just very interesting. You're in Saudi Arabia. I had some friends from my Arab friends working in Saudi Arabia too, but I've never been to Saudi Arabia. And it's kind of, I'll be honest, like that's one of the countries that I'm kind of wary of going to or want to live in there. Seems a little bit scary because of the cultural difference.
Has propagated fear and despair when you think of it, and what the purpose of that is, I don't know. As you know, Saudi Arabia has virtually no crime. It's the friendliest, safest place on the planet. You can send your children out and your wife out 24 hours a day to any place, and you don't have to worry about crime. They provide the first human right, which is safety and security outside the door of your home. Whereas any place else in the world, you can't really step outside of your door and have safety and security.
I think it's a moral structure. I know in the United States is based on "In God We Trust," but the moral structure has kind of corroded away in America. So I think the moral structure is very important, and they have the morality.
Says, do they actually behead people there?
Yeah,
Well, when you look at everything in reality, would you rather rot to death behind a jail cell for 7 years and then be strapped to a table and barbecued through electricity, or filled with poison in your veins? It's really up to you. The death penalty is the death penalty. How it's done, oh, wait, they chop your head off. No, don't do that to me. Strap
Okay,
me in
so
an electric chair and hang me by water and barbecue meal, please.
I'll go for the beheading. I'll go for the beheading, or I think I'd go for the injection, lethal injection. But so let's the biggest what human rights supposedly deal with Saudi Arabia in recent years is the women driving, being able to drive. What's the situation there?
Women have been able to drive. Women can drive. It's no problem. The other day, I was talking to a gentleman in his 80s, and he told me his wife had been driving him crazy for over 70 years.
I'm just I'm
Girl
guessing.
ones are the best, Randy. That's why these broadcasts are so great. Mark, did you manage to did you sort out your iPhone? Mark Compton wants to know. Did Randy?
Yeah, actually, I just went and bought a new one yesterday. I bought that iPhone 12 Pro Max, blah, blah, blah.
There you are. Thank you for asking that question there, Mark. And also, don't forget, Riyadh has joined us as well. I don't know if you're keeping up with the comments there, Jimmy. While you're
I am, but I'm really interested in Randy. How about the alcohol situation?
Yes.
Yeah, the alcohol situation, alcohol's not legal here. If you like to drink and consume alcohol, you could be in another country in an hour if that's something you need to do. But most people don't prioritize their life around alcohol. I grew up in Hendersonville, Tennessee. My father's 88 years old, never touched a sip of alcohol. And I just didn't grow up around that type of stuff. Now, if you'd like to drink, that's your business. It doesn't matter to me either way. And I think that
no drinking, basically.
But yeah, ask yourself, what benefits are there, like you would for anything else? What benefits are there from drinking alcohol, and plenty of it, Jimmy?
Antioxidants.
Okay.
I don't know. I actually was curious 3 years ago. I was looking around at different health things, and I was trying to say, who came up with this one glass of wine a day is healthy? It was actually a marketing gimmick from the 50s. It's actually wrong. Any alcohol is poison. So it's up to you, though. I'm not demeaning or degrading anyone who even has a sip. That's up to you. But
excessive. Let's add excessive. Let's add excessive, because excessive anything is bad for you. Right?
Exactly. It's true.
I don't know. There's many things we shouldn't dabble with. We don't dabble with Russian roulette. We don't dabble with cyanide, but we dabble in alcohol. God knows why.
Well, we dabble in bacon too, which is probably not very popular there either.
Yeah, well, bacon, the reasoning is it's very factual. And most of the things are part of the history of the Middle East and the Arabian Desert. When you lay meat out to cure, you lay a fish out and you lay beef out, it will dry out and cure. Mm-hmm. Pork did not have that ability. So it was just the freshness, and it's just part of hundreds of years. And then it became a way of life, saying, "Hey, that's not, you could die."
I agree with it. I totally agree with that. And a lot of things are born from the culture and the situation of the location. I totally agree with that. I am totally agree with that. But they are very strong. They have a stronghold on that belief. So it doesn't matter if they go to a place where, actually, in Japan, where I'm living, pork is pushed as a very healthy meat with a lot of benefits and vitamins, vitamin B in particular.
Yeah, my house is in the Philippines. People eat more pork than they drink water. It's kind of
So pork it's a staple in their life. It's a staple in their life.
Yeah. Pork ice cream to pork orange juice. I mean, they're really into it.
Well,
they do have pork in ice cream, and
they do have it with ice cream.
They do.
They have bacon ice cream.
Right.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, in America right now is a big boom. Is David says pork is life. It is life. I love pork. I like bacon. I think bacon is the deal. But the bacon flavor is like a big boom now, where you have bacon flavored everything in America.
But if you look, though, at where we started and what we're talking about, we're talking about a nation of people who have been around hundreds and hundreds of years. And then when we move our conversation to the petty thought, should I eat a pig's ass or not? So, let's get back to the real situation. We're talking about the founding fathers and the people of the great world. We're all believers in the Abrahamic faiths, belief in God and one God only.
That's
so whether you're Jewish, Christian, or Muslim, we all come from the same base. Absolutely. So to move the conversation all the way to who bites a pig's ass and who don't, Yeah, come on.
No, I totally agree with that. But I mean,
Hey, BB.
if I'm in the location, I will respect. I respect at that moment in time. If I'm there, I will respect their ways. The same as like for me, I love. I mean, I wouldn't say I'm completely religious, but I have a fascination. I have a theological fascination. So if I'm in a place that has a mosque, I will visit the mosque. If I am in a place that has a cathedral or a church, I will visit the church, and I'll feel the same holiness or the same greatness. And now I'm in Japan, I go to temples and shrines, and I feel the same way. For me, of course, I don't believe in the one God or 100 gods or any gods. I believe in a greater power, and I believe that these spots are was it a gateway for you to communicate to the universe? So that's my take on that.
Jimmy,
There you go. That's
we
pretty
just say hello to
fantastic.
Bob Urban and to we've also
Yeah,
got
hello,
Dee
people in the
joining.
comments. Dak, hello, how are you doing?
Yeah.
DD, David
Okay.
Billups, Bob Urban, everyone who's here, we thank you for coming in.
And if
Sorry
anyone wants
we
to join
may
the
miss.
chat,
Go ahead.
Randy, if anyone wants to join the chat, they're more than welcome to. Just let us know in the comments if you'd like to actually get on camera or microphone. It doesn't have to be on camera, but certainly if you actually want to talk and join the conversation, let's do it. Why not?
I like this. People coming from all over the world and discussing where they're from. That's just what I like. I just want to hear about what life is like in other parts of the world.
There you go. Hey, Jimmy, so
It's
you're living in, what did you, and how did you, and what's your connection to Japan? Enlighten me.
Okay. Well, I'm half Japanese. My mother's Japanese. I was born in Missouri. I was born in Fort Leonard Wood on a military base in Missouri. So I'm an American. Um, I lived. I came to Japan when my parents separated when I was 6. We went. My mother remarried a German captain working for a Danish company, Danish shipping company. So we moved back to America. We lived in New Jersey. My father worked in New York City in the Twin Towers, the ones that fell down. After that, he was called to the head office in Copenhagen, where I lived in Copenhagen in Denmark for about 8 years. So I went my high school years, and the beginning of my adult life was in Denmark. And then I moved to Los Angeles. I was there for about 20 to 18 years, almost close to 20 years. And I was just happened to work in a Japanese restaurant. At that time, I've had so many different kinds of jobs, from store manager, designer to buyer, seller, all kinds of jobs. I was planning to move to Hawaii, and then I got called to Japan for a job for a year job. So I decided to come to Japan for a year. And after a year, I was like, well, I speak Japanese, so I might as well stay for a couple of years to see the country. And then now I've been here for 7 years.
Great. Hey,
Yeah.
Abdulaziz, hello. So you went from around the globe, the U.S., and then to Japan. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a question about Japan, similar to your question about Saudi. How do you personally have an infatuation with girls dressed like schoolgirls, or is that
No,
everybody, or that's what we see on TV? It seems it's a lot of either you like little girls or you like toilets with buttons. That's what I know.
Well, okay.
Educate me.
Well, okay. So,
really good question.
okay. Well, here's the thing. Like, for instance, in America, sexy is sold. Sexy has been a big thing that they've sold to you. Sexy, sexy, sexy. And in Japan, it's kind of cute, cute, cute. So cute wins over sexy. That's the deal. So the school deal, and I think also because of they're kind of oppressed in
So
Japan.
they've replaced the wording. No, I'm not a pedophile. I like cute girls. Okay, I understand.
See, Randy's
wait, hold on, wait a second.
You're right, Randy. Randy, you're right. And the point is, in this day and age of the interwebble, and we are connected across the planet, we have to make sure that
Hold on a second. I'm not done yet. Here.
Anyway, because there will be someone out there. There will
By
be
the way,
someone
Jimmy,
out
I'm not that simple-minded. I'm only
Right.
poking at you the way you were poking at what you believe in.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you something, the negative part here. I'm going to tell you the negative part. Japanese men, I think, are a little bit oppressed. I think the Japanese society in general is like emotionally oppressed. They don't express themselves or they're not allowed to, from some kind of like invisible wall that keeps them from expressing themselves. So in Japan, there's like these things called like these girl bars, or it's called kabakura, which means a cabaret club where women are and guys go. In America, it's strip clubs. So it's very for me. I like the strip clubs. They're performing, and I like that. But in Japan, it's where the guys have a problem meeting girls, so they go to these clubs where they pay the girls to talk to them. So I think that is kind of the buildup of also where you see the cute girls and the schoolgirls. It's something that they had been probably a little bit oppressed since they were of their childhood growing up. So that's why.
That's great. You know
actually, right now it's popular worldwide though. This Japanese with the schoolgirl anime dress up thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Somebody said simp club.
What is a simp club, David?
Oh,
Come on, respond.
Drum roll right here. But I was saying as well, it's very important what we're saying indirectly here, which is, there was a brand, for example. Well, there's plenty of brands, global brands. We're talking about Johnson & Johnson as one name that springs to mind. They have to be so aware when they're naming a product what it means in a different language, because in one language it means, happy or awesome, and another one it means something rather rude, should we say?
Well, that's a great point. Just thinking about Bangkok, when they named the capital of the country. How many people want to say, I'm into Bangkok? That's kind of strange to me. Maybe
One Night in Bangkok. It's a great song.
Yes, Murray Head. Yes.
One Night in Bangkok.
They do
actually, now, if you really want, now again, it's just sprung to mind.
I'm not banging no cock, okay? I'm not banging no cock.
This in the past, people bringing up things online and saying about people bringing up these brands that are questionable. There is a packet. It's not potato chips, crisps. It's something I think it's German or Dutch, and it's called Honden Schitten, and the logo is of a dog, I believe, from memory.
Was it Hundschitten?
Hundenschitten?
Well, I'm thinking Hund. You're talking about dog, probably, right?
Yeah, Hund. Yeah, exactly, right. So it's sort of German, Dutch, whatever. But anyhow,
there's mistakes all the time in the product naming. The other day, somebody imported some sparkling water, and I believe the name translated from Chinese to English was "ear of a Jew." And this was actually a translation of sparkling water. It was hilarious.
The Chinese is the best. If you look, I think if you look up English, you replace the L with R.
Yeah.
You'll find stuff that's Japan too, dude. They have no but Japan has evolved a little bit, so they've been a part of involved in the global community. But China is the past 20 years. So their use of English is hilarious. I love it.
The other day, I was driving by a market in the meat area, and there in the Arabic area, and there was a sign that said "chicken murder," and he was a butcher, but it said he was the chicken murderer. I mean, that was the translation. So this was a chicken murder place.
It's literal.
Exactly. The guy was a chicken murderer here in town. Yeah, what's up?
Somebody's got to do it. Because I think butchers were they only a certain class of butcher. It was in Japan. It was because it was originally a Buddhist country in Japan. So meat was only used as medicine. And later, when meat became popular to eat, butchers were kind of like segregated. They were looked down upon. There was a prejudice against them. It was a class of people that could only become butchers. So,
really, that's
it's kind of like the Indian sects where they there's people who only do cleaning and you're not allowed to touch them. The untouchables. It's horrible. Well, in Japan they had the same thing. I mean, all cultures have that. All cultures had that in some way. So in Japan it would be.
Said they use Google Translate. Yeah, that's true. Sorry.
They use Google Translate, and the funny thing was I saw one sign that said was it internal error, and they actually put that up as they put that up as the store sign because I guess they typed in the name of the store and waited for the English translation, and it said internal error.
Bishop Jin, hello from Fort Lauderdale and welcome.
Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
What's going on here? Tell us. I see. What was actually the purpose, or what was the topic here?
This is the purpose and topic.
Okay,
Yeah.
there you go.
General chat on ShineCast, this channel that we created here some time ago, moved it over to Haps because obviously, as you know, Randy, there's a great community building here, as well as all the other joined platforms such as Twitter, Facebook, etc. And yeah, Jimmy and I have been having a chat every Friday over the last few weeks. Just Jimmy's certainly been getting to know the technology, while I've also been getting to know the
I'd like
community.
to say, Martin, fantastic, and Jimmy, you're a great guy. It's good to know you. I'm welcome,
Great
and
to meet you.
would like
Great
to see
meet
you folks anytime. You know,
Yeah, very
anytime,
Great to
lovely.
meet you.
anytime I'm around, let me know if you want. I can pop up and help you, or you can help
Well,
me.
you saw the forethought and foresight today. I said to myself, we're going live. He may be around, he may not. We'll invite and see what happens. And there we go. Particularly, I had a great chat with you and everyone else. What was it, about 48 hours ago? Something like that. And unfortunately, the signal dropped off for me.
Oh,
But it was a
Randy.
Somebody asked in the comments, Randy, you drink? No, I don't drink.
So you really don't drink? You don't like if
No,
you're
I
in the
don't
Philippines,
drink. I don't even. No, I don't drink.
Oh, okay. Okay.
love
I
in
just
Los
don't
Angeles.
drink.
Hello, Los Angeles. There's Edward there.
The Mo is your name Mo? I'm guessing
Yeah.
Mo 7TR. What's your name? I mean, I'm sorry, I can't read it, so I'm just wondering what your name is.
It's probably Mo, short for Muhammad,
Mohammed.
Yeah,
Okay.
right. Yeah,
or
absolutely.
Muhammad probably.
You know,
Joy has joined us. Hello, Joy.
Mohammed is such a common name in the Arabic world, and I understand why it is. But if so many people are called Mohammed, I mean, what do you do? Do you address them by their last name or their family name, or what is the deal there?
Muhammad, you could be in a crowd and yell, "Hey, dude," and "Hey, Muhammad." It's the same thing sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm wondering, like, when you address people.
Oh, he's Khalid actually. Okay, so he's
Khalid.
not Muhammad.
Khalid.
Khalid
Okay.
Muhammad.
Nice to meet you, Khalid. Okay.
Edward is here. Another great person. Blessing and abundance from Ed. What's happening, Ed? Welcome.
Nice to meet you, Ed.
Thanks.
Actually, I have a feeling Ed will have a new show coming out. I can't wait to see how it adjusts well in the HAPS community. I believe he's going to go with the conservative Christian view on a different scale, and I can't wait to see how accepting it is here. I've seen that the conservative broadcasts around the world have went quiet, and I hate to see the cancel culture. So I can't wait to see him come back.
Well, I'm very conservative. I would consider myself conservative, which is very strange because I'm pretty open to. Here's the thing: is like when you are for freedom for everybody, you're a conservative now. Isn't it strange that that's what it's become? Like when you agree that you should have the freedom to do and say whatever you want. I don't care if it's bad or good, as long as it doesn't hurt me. That's considered conservative now. And if you don't fit into the mold that the mainstream agenda is, you're conservative. It's very strange how it's become that way.
Yeah, it's the way Hitler worked when he organized his
exactly.
nation at the beginning.
It's a very
cancel culture. Anyway.
It's the left have been winning. I think it's because the right have been letting them do that so much. The conservative party is saying, "Well, you're allowed to do that now." So now this Hitler culture, and they're calling the conservatives Hitlers. Like, no,
you're the opposite, friend. Hello. Exactly, it's the complete opposite. It's funny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Conservative voices online and the foundation of faith and family and fellowship. There you go. That's going to be Edward's new show.
Faith, family, and fellowship. Yeah, and I think
that's the show, and I'm promoting you even before you start. And I'm getting a group of people to be on board right away. So
why doesn't Edward come on here now and promote his own show? Come on, Edward, you can do that.
Ed, come on. Did you invite him?
Sure.
Wait, who is this person? Libertarian left Democrats? Yes, libertarian. I'm totally for the libertarian. That's the way to go. Because you know what? Because I'm an American, I have to say, like, there's the Republicans, Democrats. I think they're both crap. They're both crap, and it's so horrible that we have to be governed. We have to be bound by just a two-party system with no new ideas. Because most people, when they actually talk, most people are closer to the middle. You know, we're humans, so we're close to the middle. But the media is geared to divide us because that's more of a money-making scheme.
Thank you very much for the award there to Bill. Just contributed a little bit of support there. Always appreciated that. That's
Actually, it's a good thing to name Muhammad or Hamid. I don't know how to explain it in English. Well, it's actually a blessing.
That.
No, I understand it because you're naming after the prophet. I mean,
I understand
it's just the way it is.
As
in
a
the
parent,
Hispanic culture, I think in the 60s, 50% of men were named Jesus, aka Jesus, and that's the way it was.
Jesus. Yeah, I know. But as a parent, because you know that, I probably wouldn't do that. I probably wouldn't name. I don't have any children. I'm not planning to have any children. But I don't think I would name a person. I would name a kid like what everybody else has. I'd name. Well,
it's kind of like in the modern times. You don't want to name your child Dick. It just things change.
Yeah, tell that to Mr. Cheney. I mean, I know it's not quite.
His name is not Dick though. His name is Richard.
So then, why doesn't he insist that that's what he's titled as?
Call me Rich. Call me Rich.
Yeah, I think.
Randy, it's just brainwashing. There you go, Tim.
Well, I think that people that are named Richard actually like the name Dick because they think they got a big dick. Couldn't that be something?
Salam. Hello, and how are you today?
I think in certain cases, such as Mr. Cheney, they probably think that every time their name is mentioned, people's ears are going to suddenly, sort of listen up a bit more for that moment, just to make sure they heard correctly, and then you've got their attention to say what you want to say as a politician, right?
That's good. Martin, why do you have another camera rolling over here pointing at the sky?
Oh, that's a good question, Randy. I tell you why. It's because I wanted to simulcast this not only on ShineCast channel, but on Martin Shine's channel. So to do that, I joined, and that made this all go live on my own channels as well. That's why.
Okay, and now, without further ado, welcome Edward. Conservative Nation.
Hey, good morning, gentlemen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the country. Blessings to each one of you. Hello, how are you doing, Shine?
Martin, could you take me down just for a minute?
Of course I can, Randy.
So we can have him up to the feet. No, Edward, I just got to run to the giant man's room.
I got the message there, Randy, as someone who's worked behind the scenes many a time in live TV. Oh,
Edward,
yeah.
Edward, where are you located?
I'm located in Orange County, California.
Orange County. I lived in California for about 18 years. Now I'm in Japan, though. Yeah, Orange County. Yeah, great.
Where are you in Japan?
I'm in Nagoya.
Nagoya. Okay.
Are you service man?
No, sir. I'm actually in the funeral cemetery cremation profession for 32 years.
Okay, just because you asked where in Japan, so it seemed like maybe you would be familiar with some of the location. That's why.
No, I have a friend that lives in Osaka.
Osaka, okay, that's a little bit south from here.
Yeah, that's how I know. I haven't been in Japan yet, but I've been around the world, 5 continents, and my wife and I travel a lot.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Where was the last place you were?
The last place we went to was Rome. We went to Rome and Turkey, Istanbul.
I love Istanbul. I want to live in Rome.
Yes. So it's very good. Rome is nice. Just the whole environment, the architecture is beautiful. Just a beautiful place. The ancient world, I call it. So it's a lot of things that go on.
I think all around the Mediterranean is kind of like the cradle of like modern civilization. Egypt, Morocco, France, southern Spain, Italy, Turkey was the Asian Sea, but it's still I consider it the Mediterranean. What else is there? Like all that whole area around the Mediterranean, I think is beautiful. I actually want to die there. Not that I want to kill myself. Not that I want to kill. No. I know that's your job, but not that I want to kill myself. But
that's my job is not killing people. My job is processing. I actually do a lot of advanced planning. So I help families celebrate their life. And what I train people around the world to do is to help a husband and wife or an individual make their arrangements in advance while their emotions are at rest.
I totally understand. So they can come to grips with what's happening. Are you? Can I ask you? Are you a religious man?
No. Well, depending on how you define the word religion.
Well, the belief there's a higher power, that this is not the end of this is not just what we see, and our life here is not the only thing that exists.
Yes, I do believe that there is a creator of the universe. I do believe that there is a God. For me, the pure religion is to visit the widows and the orphans in their time of need. That's pure religion. All other forms of religion that you see today are what we as men have deemed to be religion or religious.
Well,
Religious philosophy.
man created.
Yes,
I
yes.
think,
So,
but they created because they don't know. So that's the only thing they can do. That's the best they could do. The image is the best they could do.
well, yes, that's true. But the Bible says clearly, which I subscribe to as the constitution of those who believe Judeo-Christian principles. The Bible says, my people are destroyed for a lack of knowledge. Not that knowledge is not available, because we can look at the universe. We know that
Absolutely.
there is gravity. Gravity is a law that exists. The law of aerodynamics is another law. Seed, time, and harvest is another law. Today, I'm 57. Since I've been alive, if you plant an apple seed, you're going to get apples. Unfortunately, most people hang around the bark of the tree. They never get out on the branches and take a risk at life.
Thank you very much. That's great. That's great. Yeah, that's a great.
Edward,
Yeah.
Randy mentioned something earlier on too, so I'd be interested, first of all, of your view on this. But you know, you mentioned the universe, and for a long time, you know, people in the West are always like, oh, you know, the West is like, well, we are, you know, we're in the universe, and we talk about newborn children as though they've suddenly just fallen out of the sky and they've landed in this kind of alien place. Whereas, as I understand it from one philosopher, the beliefs in the Far East are somewhat different, suggesting that, well, you know, it's more a case of when we're born, it's like a plant. We grow out of planet Earth. We grow out of the Earth and flourish, kind of thing. So we're actually part of the universe. We're not just in the universe. Each and every one of us are part of, you know, this equation and sum of the whole universe.
I believe in the space thing. I believe that maybe man could have come from another planet and been planted here. Doesn't mean that it's not the same. Was it a great power that is controlling that? I mean, I think it's ridiculous to think that we are the only living entities in the universe. You know, that this is the only planet that has life. I think that's ridiculous.
And of course, the other unanswered question, though, is that if we were created, then where does everything that we were created from originally come from?
Well, again, like I said, for me, and I say clearly, because it's clearly described in the Word of God. In beginning, God created heavens and the earth. So in beginning, he's the first cause of all things. He created all things, and by him all things consist. Now, because we as finite humans, we're not infinite, we're not all-knowing, we're not omniscient, we don't have all those things. So I would have to go from what I know, the known, to the unknown. Everything on the planet and in our universe produces after its own kind. If you look at every animal, it produces after its own kind. Every human produces after its own kind. All of the trees produce after their own kind. Every plant produces after its own kind. If you read Psalms chapter 8, it says, O Lord, how majestic is thy name in all the earth. The heavens were made for your glory, the host thereof. That's every star that exists. So if you go back and look at what the scriptures say, and I only can go with scripture because I'm 57 years young. When I arrived here 57 years ago, this place was already here. No way in the world could any of us as human beings ever run out all the resources that's on this planet. We have not drilled enough. We have not gone in enough places. We have not explored enough. We think that we have as men, but we have not. What
There's
we're
no
doing
limit.
is we are not infinite beings. We are finite beings. So what I have to do is I'm going to walk by faith, not by sight. I'm going to go through and understand what the Word of God says and ask for clarity that way. Now, people have a choice. And this is why I think that God is awesome, because he gave everybody the free will to explore who he is, how he operates, and what is his motives of operation. That's how I look at it.
Hey, if you don't mind, you got a couple of great comments from Bill. Maybe don't let him spend a lot of time typing those comments.
Let me share this here. Let me see. Presenting.
Randy, they're on their way any moment now for sure.
it's kind of hard to focus on comments and the conversation. It's a little bit difficult, huh?
Which is why you need a producer, ideally, and it's not so easy. You just said it.
Well, actually, what I would like to tell you is probably what I've noticed a good idea. You need somebody in your broadcast that relates to you directly, who's over here welcoming people, telling them thank you for coming, let him know we're honored to have them here. So I actually was helping Michael the other day. He had a business one going, and it's where the commentators don't look at the comments. And I was over there just typing and typing, and I was welcoming and answering what I thought he would answer. So the person that's answering has to be a little bit tactful, you know?
You know what? I'm subscribing to everybody. I'm subscribing to everybody. I can't answer everybody, but I'm subscribing to you all.
Yeah, will you put something in the comments so we know who you are too, to subscribe to you? And Ed, can you write a comment? Yeah, you got, everybody should put a comment in. Everybody subscribe to everyone. That helps the community grow.
Yeah, absolutely.
No,
Get thousands of people that you follow, then you can pick out the dickheads and remove them later.
Oh, I like the dickheads too. I have love for the dickheads too. They make everything interesting.
There you go. Jimmy, your comment went private, by the way, but I guess.
Oh, what the hell? What's going on here? Can I make it public?
Yeah, just click on the little lock.
Yeah, it's not letting me do that. I got to do it again.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. As far as I think the problem with was the Bible, whether it be the Bible or there be the Quran or there be any kind of religious scriptures or writings. I think we have to understand that like a lot of these are very old, and the Bible is writings that have been gathered over thousands of years, and we have to remember that people, and not everybody wrote and read at that time. So if they were going to write something, they had something to write. They had something to tell. They had a story to tell. They had something that they had to mark down, so record. So I think as far as the Bible, maybe because of translation and because of retelling of the story many times, maybe the story has changed a little bit, but the base of the story and the events have probably were true. And I really do believe that. Much more than now, of course.
Well, yeah, I've been telling my wife a story since 1981, and sometimes I get confused, but I hope she thinks it's
Well, this is what I share, and I do appreciate that comment. That it's been many years, but I don't know if most of you guys know this. From Abraham to Moses, there were no written laws. Okay, none. Okay, God led them by his spirit in the Old Testament. When God called Moses up into the mountain with his finger, he first gave the instructions of what we call 10 commandments. That's when man began to put words on tablets. Okay, but all of us who have come into the world and have the light of the world, the word of God is actually already inscribed upon us. The Bible clearly tells us that we are his image. We were created in his image and after his likeness. How do we know that? Because when we open our mouth, we create a world. Each one of us are a sum total of everything we've ever said. So if you don't like what you have in your life, check on what you've been saying. So if you want to change it, you can change it. So what I call it is called the power of positive confession. Most people today say a lot of things that come out of their mouth, and then they wonder how they got all their trouble in their life. So look at what you've been saying.
Absolutely. I think recently, I don't know, I don't want to like be too like cheesy, but I know that recently, in the past 10, 15 years, there has been The Secret, which is, it seems like it's very obvious stuff that they were talking about, but that's exactly what they were talking about. The positive thinking of what you attract what you want. What was it? Jack Canfield? That's another guy. It was Napoleon Hill. All these, all these positive, people, that's what they're talking about. You attract what you want.
Now, Jimmy, now, Jimmy, there's a difference with positive thinking versus positive confession. I learned a long time ago, I think I was 17, 18 years old, any thought never spoken dies unborn. So people can have positive thought, but if you don't speak them, they die unborn. I'm
You know,
married.
Edward is speaking such sense here, and I don't just say it because I believe it. I say it because I've experienced it. You know, that it's as you say, right? Absolutely, you need to enunciate to yourself in front of a mirror. You know, if not just out loud, something, and it makes it that not just that much more real. It makes it real. Absolutely right, and this is the first time I've actually ever heard someone state it as you have. Bill Cheshire Jr. Said earlier on, well said in so many words about what you've been speaking about, and I can only second it. It's fantastic the way you're putting everything into context and the words you're using. They're powerful and sort of minimalistic, which is great.
The mouth speaks what the heart is full of.
Let me interrupt you, Edward. When Edward comes out with his show in the near future, I'll be there to support him. And I hope everyone here remembers when Ed comes out, give him a shout. Don't join him just like we're joining. And Jimmy, man, it's great to see you here. I'm really appreciating you. I'm surprised I don't know you before that well. And I'm glad I've met you. And Martin, every time I see you and I'm with you, the interaction has been great and fun and just really nice. I just want to let everybody here know I appreciate you. Thank you.
No, well, we appreciate you too. I appreciate hugely what you've been doing, Randy, because you know, I keep getting reminded by Jimmy. He doesn't have to remind me. I hasten to add Jimmy, but you know, the mainstream media. You know, when you watch your news bulletin, we were saying the other day, maybe on Randy's broadcast, that the news starts. It's 30 minutes long maximum. The main bulletin on average around the planet, wherever you live. Okay, if you have 5 news stories in 30 minutes maximum, it can be without. The opening and closing of the program is like 6 minutes, 6 5's 30, right? So they just choose a handful of stories, and yet there's an abundance of things happening, positive more so than negative. But obviously, we only generally hear at the top of the list there and the headlines, the negative stuff. But the thing is, you've opened my eyes up, Randy, is what I'm getting to with the Philippines. That I only briefly watched some of your journeys in the car to the back streets, which are more like mud tracks. And there was one cafeteria or cafe restaurant place you went to where they were doing no, they weren't doing pickup. They were actually sitting out there and just eating like not. They were aware of obviously what's going on as a pandemic, but just being sensible as you can, the best you can there, and people are still living, not just surviving. And so,
Senator Knife. Sorry, the comments from people in YouTube and Facebook, we can't respond to them. So I'm trying to just say hello before they disappear, because we can't type a comment back to them yet.
Hello, Senator Naif. Hello, Senator Naif, and Dr. Compton. Dr. Compton, we have. Doctor, I think isn't Dr. Compton on both here and no, he's on Twitter.
Yeah, I know Dr. Compton.
And Senator as well. I tell you what, have you noticed? I have been playing my producer role here in this as well in the background while everyone else has been talking and making sure that certainly the awesome, relevant comments.
Oh, wait a minute! We have an emergency. Another spirit, peaceful, great person, Miss Helga, has entered. Whoa!
Oh, really?
Helga. Miss Helga will bring us down to
Oh.
the humble, quiet,
and she's from New Jersey. I lived in New Jersey. Hello, Helga. I just subscribed to her.
Welcome.
Well, Randy,
great lady. I really enjoy her.
Jimmy, I do have to run. I have a Zoom coming up in 30 minutes.
It was great talking to you. It was great talking to you. Thank you very much.
I do want to share this with you before I leave. You guys may not realize this, but the mainstream media is actually you. You are the first media. When God created man, he spoke into man, and man became a tongue-talking spirit. Your media is you. No media exists without people. So what I want you to realize is that what you allow to stream through your life and stream through your mouth is what people are really going to see. It's the content of your character. It's your value system. It's your morals. It's the way you have integrity. When you do that, no one can change your mainstream foundational truth that causes you to be the best person you can be. Again, I want everybody to understand 7.8 billion people on the planet. There's not one of you. There's no copy of you. You are an original design. Your fingerprints are your set of fingerprints. Your DNA, No one is like you. Never been, never will. There's not a snowflake the same. There's not a raindrop the same. There's not a leaf the same. There's not a human the same. Let's stop groupthink and let's all be original, not a copy.
Edward, that's absolutely brilliant. Please stay in touch. I'm going to connect with Edward, certainly. You can't do that directly at the moment via Haps, but via Twitter or Facebook, please connect to Edward and we'll certainly,
Sean,
as
my email is in my bio, conservativevoices.com. So you can actually email me at conservativevoices.com. All right. Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
I don't take it
Thank you, Eddie. Thank you, Edward.
As always, it's good to see you, Ed. We'll see you in the near future. May God guide you in his path. Have a good day.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Goodbye.
As Edward leaves us now, he makes way for someone else who's been preparing in the background there. We're going to bring her in when she's prepared.
Helga.
Almost prepared, I see. She's there. She's ready and waiting, I think. Are you ready to join us, Helga? Just give us the nod. I think there's a... Oh, yeah.
She's saying just a minute, I think. Hold on.
Yes, I didn't know whether it was be quiet.
She's stepping outside. It looks cold there. She's wearing a coat. Looks like this New Jersey, so I think it's a...
Now she's ready. You know what? Take me down.
I have to correct
something.
something.
Go to town, and I'm going to roll around, and I may jump back in a little bit later.
Randy. If not, if not immediately, then certainly in the near future we'll connect again. Thank you so much, and we'll bring in Helga very shortly. Thanks,
there
Randy.
And the numbers going up right now, and we're going to be a few thousand time the show's over with. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thanks, Randy. Bye for now. Okay, so here it is, Jimmy. Randy says goodbye.
Come on, come on.
Howdy, hi.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Helga.
Hello.
How are you?
I have to correct something. Hold on.
Yes.
I have to correct something. I'm in the Netherlands. I'm not
You're in the Netherlands. You're not in New Jersey.
Yeah. No, I wish.
So it's a fake address. Fake address. Well, I have been to the Netherlands too. I have been to the Netherlands too. Yes. I used to live in Denmark, so it was a little bit close.
Oh.
I'm in Japan now, but I used to live in Denmark, so I've been to the Netherlands.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm
beautiful.
just so impressed with the signal at the moment, which is on the mobile apps app. I usually have a bit of a problem with mobile apps at the moment, and it's in beta, but still, it's frustrating to say the least. And but they're getting there.
Looks good to me.
Which is great. And whatever network you're using, I don't know if you're still on your Wi-Fi or if you are on 3, 4, or even 5G, Helga. You tell us.
Helga, I want to ask you right away. It says Helga. Bijot. What's the name?
Bijlhout. In English.
Bijlhout.
Yeah. Wow.
Bijlhout. It's a kind of a German accent. Bijlhout. It says healer. Tell me about that. It says healer. You said you're a healer.
We all are healers.
I understand,
yeah.
but you make an effort to say I'm a healer. So what exactly are you doing? Tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm just me. And the same problem I had when I had to register myself on Haps, I just wanted to leave it blank because we don't need to have a title. Just being in the moment, it seems that I have a positive influence on others. So please skip the title.
That's fine. Okay, we can skip the title. I just wanted to get it. Was it some kind of feel of who you are as an entity, as a soul, as a spirit? Who you are? I want to know who you are. So that's why I'm asking.
Do you know the funny thing is, Jimmy? Sorry to interrupt you there, Helga. Jimmy, what you just asked there, I always find that one of the most ironic questions ever, because you know what it's like in the Western world. Certainly, when you go in to socialize, if you're single, again, certainly if that's the situation, you're going out to a bar or a club and you meet people, and they say to you straight away, they're like, "Oh, hi, great to meet you," and they're like, "Oh, hi, who are you?" Or they want you to tell you about yourself. And the truth is, as I've said here before, and I'll say plenty in the future, most people don't even know themselves, yet they have the audacity to attempt to answer that question when someone asks who they are.
I understand, but I want to know, like, where she's in, where she's from, what she's doing, how does she get here, where she is in life in this moment in time where we are meeting and interacting.
I'm just making sure that we've got all this into perspective here, because, as I say, most people, they really find it difficult, often because we're not educated how to, and in a relaxed way. I would suggest in a yoga-y way, and just clearing your mind and discovering who you are. But it's you leave school and education in the West, then you get your first job, and then the pressure's on to find your home and build a family life and all that. But it's like there's no stop or consideration to sort of allow people time out to just chill. What do you think on this, Helga?
One thing I know for sure, I'm not what you see. I'm an eternal being.
Yes.
I'm aware that I enter this body to experience life as a human.
I completely understand. I completely understand.
Sorry.
Oh,
someone's disagreeing with you there, Helga. Do you want to sort your
no? Let's see him.
Out?
Let's see. Is it a girl or a boy? Is it a girl? Is it a girl or a boy? Let's see it. Let's see him. Is it a her or a girl? Girl or boy?
Okay, I will mute myself and I will change my camera. Then you can see my dots. Okay.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see him.
Oh wow! Now that's what you call long ears on one of those.
Are these? Was it pit bulls? These are pit bulls, huh? These are pit bulls with their ears not cut. Natural pit bulls.
Half
pit bulls and mixed.
This one.
That's a lot to handle. 3 of them.
It is.
That's a lot to handle. 3 of them. Well, what are they? Were they female, male? What are they?
The black one is. I have 2 boys and 1 girl. But it is father, mother, and son.
Okay,
Eric sends much love there, by the way, Helga. I think you might see on the screen shortly. Also, we do have someone reminding us that the dogs are objecting to what you were saying before. That's why we started barking. Yes, was that Silver Star on Twitter.
I have something with animals, I guess, because on Michael, his broadcast, there were a lot of birds, so I have something with animals.
Hey, thank you, Helga, for mentioning that name twice. Well, for being the second person to mention that name, just the single name, Michael. And Randy mentioned Michael earlier on. I can only assume there's quite a few Michaels out there, but I'm aware of Mr. Michael Bathurst from Canada.
Yes.
Not to be confused. Yeah, great. Because I really haven't had a proper chat with Michael yet. Like really.
You definitely have to.
We have connected, and in fact, when I was talking with Randy in one of Randy's podcasts and a handful of people about 48 hours ago, Michael happened to pop up there because he saw I was contributing there. And once again, there was some great positivity from him. But we've really got to get. So I want to get something regular going, actually, with a lot. Do you broadcast regularly, Helga, or you contribute regularly to other people's broadcasts?
I contribute because I'm not a technical woman, and to be honest, I feel that I have to go online today.
You feel like you have to go on? Okay.
No. I mean, I will make a live like you do now.
Online, yes. This is the future. This is now. Right. This is happening now. So, yeah, absolutely.
This is going to be is this going to be your first broadcast that you're going to produce today?
If I stay long online, yes, and brilliant. I will invite. I see my soul brother here, Eric Hive. So yes, tonight I will do a live.
Tonight they're in the Netherlands. That's fantabulous. And you say that exactly 11 minutes past 5 p.m. Where you are right now, because it's 4 p.m. 4:11 where I am. Great number. That our favorite number here, 11. I'm sure you're aware of where I'm coming from there. But definitely, please before we forget, everyone, please do follow Helga
I don't
right
hear you
now.
anymore. Oh, gee.
Oh no.
It's okay. We hear you, Helga. We hear
We
you.
hear
Don't worry.
you.
And we see you. Don't worry. We see you. We hear you and
Can't
see
hear
you.
us. She can't hear us, but we
She
can
can't hear us. We can hear you. We can hear
You can
you.
you can come out the broadcast and rejoin. Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah, she can't hear you, Martin. She can't hear you.
I think she's done exactly that though. She's come out and she's rejoining. You see, she
Okay.
says she's not.
She knows. You know what's going on. You know what's going on.
Don't
Get
give
out
us
and
that,
restart.
BS.
Restart. That's the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Restart.
Whoop, whoop.
You're back now, right?
Woo!
Randy,
Back.
too.
Yeah, Randy. So you can see Randy.
Yes.
Oh, he's joined us back. Oh, he's come back. Excellent. Oh, goodness me.
Why don't you invite Randy for a second? Yeah, invite Randy for a second.
Whoa. I tell you, this job as producer and presenter is not so. Oh, goodness me. It's not as simple as you think there, Jimmy. We're moving around the screen, but we're settling down. Right, it's back. What's going on? It's fine. Could even be the
But I'm not going to stay now.
Okay.
We can talk when I go live.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Everybody's
Everybody's invited to the party. So everybody subscribe. Everybody subscribe. I've been trying to subscribe to everybody too. So everybody subscribe to Helga, so you can follow her.
Your channel, Helga. Just announce it so everyone knows, and it's like they can see as well on here. But go for it.
Thank you.
No. I was just saying. Perhaps you want to tell everyone your handle here on Haps and elsewhere, so they know exactly where to head to.
Oh, here on Haps. I think I have my name, Helga Bijloud.
Okay. Excellent. Yeah.
Helga.
I told you I'm not technical. Yes.
No problem. See you, Helga. Good to see you again. It's always great to see you. Thanks.
Good to see you. See you later.
Thank you very much for joining us, Helga. A pleasure, and do join us again at some point. And good luck with your broadcast later. I'll try and join it as well, as long as it's not too late. They're an hour ahead of us here in the UK. Bye for now, Helga. Thank you.
Bye.
Hey. Oh, now look, you see Randy's in on this. So you can see what's going on in the background. I think Jimmy has just stepped out at the moment. I'm sure it must be the postman. That's what it is. It's the postman. Nothing to do with all that.
You got a lot of good comments. He doesn't think she is internal being. Jimmy, my parents once to Okinawa, Japan, and learned to choose my name. Sakara. Oh, cool. Bill. That's a lot of barking. Yes, it was. Eternal from the past. She's saying she's a goddess. Woof, woof. I enjoy Peter Australian's bird broadcast and well as Martin's. Fantastic.
Peter's
Australian. There you go.
Lovely. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure about the Australian bird broadcast. I haven't seen those yet, Randy. Look at me falling out there.
Australian bird broadcast.
Jimmy's trying to bring himself back in and take me out instead. Yeah. Oh boy. There you go.
What is this? I enjoy Peter's Australian bird broadcast. What is that? What are you talking about?
Oh, we got Eric Hypes in here. Eric's another great guy. You know Eric?
I don't see Eric here at the moment. Where's Eric? Do we have a comment from Eric? There's Eric. Yeah, much love. Oh, thank you. Helga's just left, of course, but Eric did leave that comment there. Do you know what? I've just learned something today, Randy. Right. Actually, got to be totally transparent here. I've been inviting people manually. So when someone's commented, if they've wanted to join, I've gone in and invited them. But of course, you don't need to do that. If you just click on the person's comment, it brings up the options, and one of the options is to invite that person.
Isn't that great?
Much easier now, yeah, absolutely.
Well, they've been improving. I know that Martin has a lot of problems with Haps, but because he's the producer here, but they have been improving.
Mm-hmm.
They have. Come on, Martin, admit it. They've been improving. There's been a big improvement.
I know. I'm just disappointed that there was sort of from the offset. I would have thought just as it isn't the first mouse catching the cheese in this situation. As I said before, I didn't realize that there's a few things that need to be tweaked, but they're getting there, as you say. So that's all good. Yeah.
You know, people are very forgiving in a new area. It's a community that is slowly developing, and everybody is on the cheerleader bandwagon for now. but I'm sure the cheerleading and the blessings, if it's not solved in the next few months, everybody will be on the high-speed train to the next area. So they've got a development time, and we hope and we're hoping for a greater improvement.
I don't want that to happen, Randy, because
it says HAPS beta. It says HAPS beta, and Martin has been saying that they've been doing this beta for 2 years, so it's about time
it's been a 2-year beta. It started out, well, they didn't really have to do a lot of work before. It was a handful of far left broadcasters, which I still see here at HAPS. They just don't want to like push that away. If you look and you watch all the broadcasts, they still want to overemphasize on the far left reporting journalism that most people, it didn't help them grow before, but they still want to stick to it. So they keep pushing it in our face over and over again. I'm just curious how they'll continue to do that. For me, that's where I exit. I'm not here to get on a far left one way, one street. So I love the community now where everybody's from some different type of background and some different face. But I'm not going to join a far left group. If it goes too far left, I'm out of here.
Well, that's the big problem, is that most of the, I would say like this Silicon Valley, California controlled media or social media is kind of a little bit too left, and they don't live in reality. And I believe it's not like they have bad feelings. Like they have this idealistic view of things that just don't work, that are not based in reality. So I think that's the biggest problem. And good intentions, lead you to hell.
Yeah, I just need, like you say, reality is a lot more comforting to me.
Absolutely, reality, and we can work with reality. We can work with reality. We can work with reality, and we can. It's easier to work with reality if we know that the genuinity of the people. Not to put this. Everybody's like you have to be this way, should be this way, and it's just not that way. Yeah.
If you need me to change the way I am, you don't need to be around me.
Exactly.
I'm not myself. I'm Randy Horton. I talk shit sometimes. If you can't handle it, I'm sorry. Close the broadcast and go on to one you can handle. It's up to each and every individual to actually put yourself in the circle of comfort that you're in. If you go into someone else's room and you're not comfortable, instead of being a pussy wuss and reporting, why don't you just leave and go to another broadcast? I think it's your circle, your comfort, and if you're not comfortable there, go someplace else. There's many broadcasts here that I'm not comfortable with, and I don't go. But when I'm comfortable, I go. And that's just the way it is. I'm just tired of this cancel culture. Oh, they said something that wasn't appropriate. We shouldn't have them on the platform. Wait a minute now. Even if you're far left, right, I don't care who you are, you have a right to have a word, and you have a right to be on the platform.
Absolutely.
If someone doesn't like what you're saying, they don't need to go into where you're saying it. Period.
Absolutely. I think it's very interesting. Like now, the biggest thing is everybody, like, if they disagree with you, there's this big thing in America where they call you racist. You're just racist. You're just racist. No matter what you are, you're racist. And okay, now because of they use this term so often, it kind of like weakens true racism, the meaning of true racism. Like, what is true racism? And I think that is something that we should deal with, that we could deal with, but just calling somebody racist doesn't solve any problems. And if somebody is racist, there may be some sort of ignorance or some kind of fear within their community that would make them become a racist. So just by calling somebody a racist is not really solving anything anyway.
Well, what I'd like to point out is 99% of the world doesn't think like America, okay? We don't fit in, we don't belong, and the points that they are trying to push around the planet don't make any sense. The other day I was in a Clubhouse broadcast, 50 people in there, and this one guy brings out a situation in the app, and he said 10 times, and it was created by a black man, and this black man made this, and this black man did that. And this was an international broadcast.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
People were sending me messages. What does that have to do with anything?
Yeah, nobody cares.
We don't look at somebody by race, and we never have. So Absolutely. Here is the weirdest thing. Why is somebody talking like that?
That's a very American thing. It's a very American thing.
Oh yeah, it's only in America. The rest of the world doesn't think about that.
Here's the funny thing is I lived in Europe, so you have this Black America, and then you have the Europeans that the people have migrated from Africa, and they're very different. Like they're actually, you can talk one-on-one, very straightforward with an African person immigrated from Africa more than you can speak. We have to be on your tiptoes in America with a Black American African American. Sorry, I mean the terms.
Yeah. Oh, we got Eric over here typing on the piano or something in the background.
No, I think it's a bell. It's like one of those Tibetan. Was it a Tibetan bells or whatever? What they call it? Was it Asian? They have them. They have them all over here too.
Yeah, I got a little.
It is. It's one of those.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. We use them in Japan too. When in prayer, it was in our temples too. It equalizes.
Welcome, Eric.
Welcome, Eric.
All right. What's up?
Hi, Eric. How you doing?
On the guru stuff.
Hello. Good to meet you, Sean. Randy, always a pleasure. Jimmy, good to meet you as well.
Hi.
Thanks for joining us.
It says no location, but I actually, Randy, I saw where are you located? Was it you're somewhere in the mid America somewhere? Where are you exactly?
Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Somebody told me if you take the little things down that it helps your feed be better, so I took that down. But yeah, East Tennessee.
Okay. East Tennessee.
Fantastic. I heard Jesus was born in East Tennessee. Anyway, go ahead and tell us what's happening.
Helga's saying a big hi with hearts there to you there in Tennessee. Helga, all the way from Netherlands. You may,
Mystic energy worker artist. Yeah. Artist. What does that mean?
I'm sure a lot of weed.
That's got to mean something. Artist. I know that was put there on purpose for some reason. So.
Oops. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, I've always been inclined to do art, whether it's drawing, painting, craft work, making things with your hand, kind of bringing things into fruition. And the mystic thing, that's like the spiritual connection I've got.
Well, that's that you're ringing.
On purpose?
I'm sorry, what was that, Randy?
You misspelled artist on purpose?
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
Oh, yeah, probably a typo there. I need to go back and change that. Thank you for pointing that out.
We thought it was some great theory behind it, and you were going to teach us some love Hindu type stuff. Okay.
That's what I was wondering about. So that was a bell. That bell that you were ringing. What is? Because I'm living in Japan, and they actually use that during prayer. So I'm just wondering what your bell is. It's green. So I'm wondering what is that? Was it a copper that has been a coloration, or what is that exactly?
Yeah, actually it's a crystal bowl, so it's still based on what you're talking about, the Tibetan bowls.
Yeah, okay.
The Tibetan bowl was a little bit too much rich for my pocket at the time, so the crystal bowls are a little bit cheaper. Well, there's a couple different kinds, but this one was affordable. It's green because it's in line or in tune with the heart chakra.
Okay.
I bet you put a lot of cereal in that thing.
It actually, no, this actually keeps you in tune. Like when you become off tune or out of tune with the universe, you ring the bell, and it helps you focus into that. So basically, that's what it's for.
Fantastic.
Well, that's they do that with chanting. A lot of the Buddhist or Eastern philosophy, Eastern religions or whatever you want to call it, they use those sounds to focus, basically.
Yeah.
You become in tune with the world.
Thank you. Much love, Helga. Yeah, Helga is one of my soul sisters.
Yeah, I wanted to talk to Helga a little bit more, but she didn't give me enough. She didn't give me detail. Maybe next time. I guess in her broadcast she's going to give us a little bit more detail. Of her
Somebody
was it
take
her
a
wedding?
keyboard away from Martin.
Sorry, I missed that last comment there.
Somebody needs to take your keyboard away. I don't know. We're flying around the screen. You're tripping me out.
I'm sorry. No. And even now, I was going to bring myself back into vision while I say this, but then I'm only going to take myself out again. No, what it was, Randy, because we had 4 people on the screen, it automatically, I hadn't done that before, it's selected the grid. As a producer and presenter, you'll know the grid. So now I'm like, well, how do we get back to what they call the stack, which is the 3, what we're on now? Anyway, yeah, just playing around a bit.
Well, anyway.
He's
there. He can come back anytime. He's the producer, Eric. So let's. Was it you're from Tennessee, Eric?
Yeah, I was born in Norfolk, Virginia, on the naval base there. But at 6 months, I moved here. So, I'm from Tennessee.
Okay.
If you spent more than 10 years in Tennessee, you're officially called a Tennessean, and that's just the way it is. Yeah.
Tennessee is a place that I visited as a child when I was like 1 or 2, because I was born in Missouri. So, yeah.
Missouri,
so I was born in Missouri.
From Tennessee who got lost trying to get home after one night out.
So, if you don't mind me asking, I know it's kind of rude in this day and age to ask, "Oh, what do you do?" But I want to know about you, so I don't know how else to ask. What do you do? Who are you, Eric?
And also, do you kiss boys, girls, or goats? Define yourself.
I'll give anybody love that asks for it. The goats, you gotta be careful. They might get a little nippy. But good question there. Thank you. Yeah, I do my best to be open. I've got quite the story, so I'll try to keep it as short as possible. Right now, I'm currently going through a transition. I got on disability in 2000 at the end of 2008 from different injuries, different diseases that I was put labels on through the medical industry. And as a child, I was born what you might be called awake as like a psychic medium. I shut that whole part of me down for fear, for a lot of different reasons. And when I became severely disabled, I started meditating and I started connecting with spirit, and spirit said, you've got a purpose, and you've got to heal yourself to fulfill your purpose. So for the last 6 or 7 years, I've been working on that. I've gotten to a certain point in my healing, and when I came to HAPS, I saw a lot of people that I've seen in my dreams before. And so I'm just kind of following the lead that Spirit's guiding me on to, one, complete my own healing, and then work with others to step into their own realms of connection for themselves.
Okay, good. So, yeah, that's great. So, actually, what you are exactly, you said mystic, energy worker, artist. Okay. So, can I ask you, well, I'm guessing there is maybe a big change or step up or step in a different direction from what you were talking about, what you were before, what you were doing before, trying to fit into this world and this life. Can I ask you what you were doing before, what your background is?
I got out of high school. I went to Charleston, South Carolina, and worked like a Peace Corps, but in the U.S., called National Civilian Community Corps. Did that for 2 years. I came home to Tennessee, worked at Walmart for 2 years, and then I got into the tattoo business.
Okay.
I was helping put an addition onto my mother's house and got hit in the head with a roof truss. So that took me out of tattooing, and from there I just kind of wavered until I just couldn't work anymore.
Found yourself.
Yeah.
What do you mean work with tattooing? Like tattoo as a tattoo artist? Or are you working in a tattoo shop?
Yeah.
Or what were you doing? As a tattoo artist?
Yeah.
Okay, wow. So I guess from what you're saying, you joined, you said the Peace Corps, something like the Peace Corps. So that was voluntarily. You decided you wanted to do something like that. That's what you wanted to do. That was your choice. So I guess at that moment you didn't know exactly the road, but you knew the direction that you wanted to go, so you obviously joined something like the Peace Corps. I mean, as far as the Western world is concerned, that is something that I think is like probably the representation of what your goal or your road that you're trying to seek, or the road that you're trying to be on. That is kind of like you made that choice in an early part of life.
Yeah, service to others. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. But your vision is a lot more clearer now.
Yeah, and to really be able to give service to others, you have to know yourself. And so I couldn't completely do that until now, when I'm starting to really accept myself and accept the connections that I need to make for my own health and well-being, so that I can share them better with others.
Do you got any? I mean, you have tats, right?
Yeah.
You have a lot of tats.
Yeah.
Can I see something? Okay. Now I believe you. Yeah, I just wanted to get a little look at that. I'm living in Japan, and I have some tats that I've got in Los Angeles. But tats here are associated with the Japanese mafia, so
Illegal.
they're no, they're not illegal. Well, in a sense, they're unspokenly illegal. People, like, you have a hard time getting a job in certain areas because you have tattoos. And here's an interesting thing that I ran into. Like, even some insurance companies won't take you because they're associated with the mafia. So when they join the mafia, now it's called, was it Irezumi in Japanese? So now I think they're starting to differentiate between Western tattoos and Irezumi, the Japanese style. But here's the funniest thing. Not to brag, because I'm half Japanese, but I think the Japanese tattoos are probably some of the most beautiful in the world. But yet, this is the place where they're like frowned upon. It's ridiculous.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm very drawn to the Japanese style, and I would love to go to Japan and get tattooed the original way that they do it. The hand style seems very personable. The exchange of energy is there. You take the machine.
By the way, I can no longer respond to comments for some reason. So you may want to type some things to people. I apologize, folks. I can't respond to the comments.
Can you not? Now, this is really strange, because earlier on, sorry to interrupt all the guys, I muted someone, I think, earlier on. I don't think it was yourself, because my question is, how do you unmute a user when you go into the comments and you click on all the options there? I think there's an option to mute someone. But that's strange.
I'm trying to respond to Incel Frog, and it won't let me.
Damn, Randy, and I thought Mike was a vegan or something, and I don't know why that would be. But do you want to respond audibly now? I think you just kind of did. By all means.
Yeah, I thought Mike was a vegan.
Oh no, there's your comment, Randy.
Mike, he's always talking about, what are you happy for? How are you? Oh, when you went to the telephone, are you on the toilet? Is God blessing your backside? Oh my God, that's my, Michael, that guy.
Can I just say to Helga to stand by as well? She wants to join back in again. Jimmy, I hope you're keeping track on all this as well. Helga's standing by or sitting by.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, throw her in. Just forget the standby. Forget the standby. Just throw her in. Come on, throw her in the mix.
And go ahead and delete the broadcast. I've got the things I've got to take care of. I'm actually doing a little trading of coin right now, and I have some weird account things.
Wait. No, Randy. You're talking about coin. I want to know, because I just started trading last week, and I'm down in dumps right now. But in the beginning, I was doing the opposite of what I'm supposed to do. When it got low, I sold, and when it got high, I bought. So I finally, what are you trading? What are you trading? What is your recommendations? Is financial advice. What are you trading?
I buy Bitcoin, and I store it like a bar of gold in the cabinet to think about later. And then some of the newer coins I play around with if I feel they're going up and down. And when I make money, I buy the real coin, Bitcoin. It was the profits, and then I go back in and play around the coins that are worthless.
So the ones that move, the ones that move big, you're buying.
Yeah, I buy them until but not a lot. I'm not big.
So you're talking about day trading then. You're talking about day trading.
I'm just playing around with coins. I can't be a day trader. I'm too stressed about that.
Well, but the thing is but you have to be a day trader to be able to like buy and sell at the right time.
Yeah, it's something like that. I guess you would call it a bit of a dabbling in the day trading of coins, but not.
Well, see what I'm starting to do that, but right now what I'm doing is I'm buying up silver coins. So today I got one.
I started buying silver coins and gold bars a few years ago, and
I got
a
Barbados one.
Every year. Those
I
are
got
great.
I got a Barbados one today.
Barbados, see that there? That's
Flamingos, Barbados, and of course Queen Elizabeth II, because she's on like half the coins that you buy, because they British colonies. Yeah, but yeah. I actually bought it recently. I want to show you, Randy, 2 coins that aren't really for saving. I bought for my collection, and this recent one, I have something to flaunt. Here is a coin from 1812, 5 francs, and it's got Napoleon on the head. Because this is the time when he was fighting with Russia in Moscow, the invasion of Russia, and I paid a little bit more. I paid I'd say about $170 dollars wise, because I'm a big Napoleon fan. But
that's
usually
I'm just coin. The value of that coin is around $7.30.
No, it's not. The silver, you're talking about silver value.
I'm playing with you. I have no idea.
Okay, the melt value is probably about $25 to $27, but the actual value is probably, I'm hoping, over $300.
I have a request. I have to go, but I need you to replace me with one person down in the column. Colin Holder is here.
Colin's just said,
Colin, yeah.
Please remove me and stick him right here. Him and Eric together with you 2 guys will create something that will be phenomenal.
I love Colin. He joined us one time already. Yes, Colin, come back in. Yes, let's get Colin in here.
Thanks, Randy.
Good.
Love you, Randy.
Bye, Randy.
I'm going to step me down now.
Good to see you, Randy. Much love.
Randy's out of there and he's muted as well. And we're just waiting for Colin now to sort out his technology, and then he'll be with us. Along with, I do hope, Helga coming back as well. She should be coming.
Eric didn't get to finish his comments. So
Oh, hang on. What's going on? I thought I muted Randy because I thought that's what he wanted, and maybe he unmuted himself. Hey, we'll see what's going on with Colin in a moment here. Takara's saying hello to Colin. It's all happening here at the moment, and now my sound seems to have gone just temporarily.
No, I hear you.
Oh, you do now.
I hear. So, is Randy here or what? Hi, Randy.
No, Randy.
No. Randy's gone. How about Colin? Where's
Colin's stepping up. Well, no, Helga's back first of all. Come on now. Come on.
I'm here. Producer's got to rein it only, and I'm doing other things.
And he's doing other things. Oh, sorry, Randy. I just muted you again because I'm thinking that the technology is playing up, and therefore you wanted to be muted. But if you want to unmute yourself, please do, and you're more than welcome to jibber jabber along the way and chat and say another word or two. Helga's here. Let's bring Helga in so that I just brought her in successfully, and she's there. Thanks for rejoining us, Helga.
Hello. Hi, Eric.
Hello, Miss Beautiful Helga.
Good to see you.
Yeah. Heard spirit calling, and I saw your beautiful face.
How did you 2 meet? How did you 2 connect?
Well, it's funny, Jimmy. You said y'all brought up 1111 earlier, and or the number 11. We met through another spiritual kind soul, Greg Prescott, N5D.com on YouTube and Zoom on 11/11 of last year, 2020.
Okay. 11/11. That's a special number for Martin. I don't know exactly why, but he's a Maybe you can tell us about that, Martin. What is it, 1111? Why is 1111
Well,
such a
11
big deal
is
to
a
you?
master number in terms of numerology, if you're read up on all that sort of stuff. And that was brought to my attention probably about, must be about 11 years ago now, actually.
Oh my
And
God, you
ever,
had to
ever,
say it.
ever since somebody, once again, it's a bit like earlier on that great conversation with Edward, you see, I needed someone to just say those words, which were that I'm a number 11 when it comes to numerology because of my date of birth and the way you add up all the digits as well. I'm actually a double master number. I'm 11 and a 22 when they're all added up. It's quite crazy. Even my cell phone number, I think, adds up to 22. All these things, when I look at the clock every day, more often than not, it's 11 minutes past the hour. If I look at the news report, it'll say something like, it's always 11 degrees, of course, when it comes to the temperature right now, and I'm looking at the weather. But really, once you're enlightened, in so many words, then it's like driving around in a certain car, a Honda Japanese car, a red one, and then once you own one and you are passionate towards it, whatever, you just know it in your mind, you start seeing
But
cars like
but we understand that that's only for certain people, and that applies to you, because I can tell you, for me, 11 is not in my scope.
No, but that's because
I understand. No. I understand. No, it's you're connected to 11.
Well, I am, but I mean, if you start focusing certainly on your own, the number that is definitely relevant to you. I mean, right, my numbers, if you actually add them all up, they come out like my 22 goes down to a 4. Now, this hasn't been specifically explained to me, but when I look at what a number 4 person, someone who has numerology number 4, is all about, I can see that in my past. Okay, and even now, present, number 4, apparently we're more down to earth, that sort of thing, and connected to other people. No coincidence then that I'm on HAPS and doing this sort of thing now. But the point I'm really trying to make is that I shouldn't have actually taken the 22 down to a 4, but probably I'm assuming that because I wasn't aware that overall I'm a 22 master number, I've allowed myself to develop as a number 4. I don't know, possibly if anyone else can comment on that, particularly Eric. You might know more about this than I.
I want to add one comment here.
Yeah.
That this is an interesting thing about numerology, that you can associate, the counting of your name, or the way when you were born and stuff like that. And so the name is always found interesting, because you might have a given name, and that associates to numerology. But if you have a nickname that everybody calls you, then actually it's the nickname that is your number. And I think that what was his Edward mentioned that the spoken word, it's the spoken word. You're casting spells. What you say is what happens. You're attracting what you say, and actually what people call you, and that is your numerology. The name attached to your numerology.
That's what I was coming to with what I was saying. When the person around about, as I said, 11 years ago, enlightened me and said to me, look, you do realize that you're an 11 and a 22, and this is what numerology is about. Once they start making you realize, hang on a minute, you have got more potential than you possibly have been advised and told in the past, then you start kind of, you're in that mindset to start working on it. And then it actually gives you possibly more confidence, and a more of a get out there and go and find it and get it kind of attitude, and go and help those people, because that's kind of part of what your journey's meant to be. And as I say, since that moment, anyway, I've been aware that I'm more of a leader. This is ironic, because I've never really gone into any roles in full-time employment as a manager, but people say to me, you'd make a great manager and a leader. So as I say, since then anyway, things I've been aware of what the potential is, etc., and we're building it right now, aren't we, with this community here? Helga will also tell us.
I have to say, was it a hello to this? Was it Donald Brandt? Just because he's from Copenhagen. Just because he's from Copenhagen, I have to say hello, because I used to live in Copenhagen, and that's it.
Yeah, I wanted to know if Jess the Star is going to join us soon, because Jess, I think, was she is in Beirut in Lebanon. It would be fantabulous to actually connect here in this broadcast. We had a quick chat. I think it was Randy's broadcast where we first met the other day. It was awesome. And she was reminding us of just because I brought up the topic of the port where they had that explosion there some months ago, if you remember, Jimmy. It was a global news story because it was such a big, literally a big event, and shook the city. But she was reminding us of just how great it is there. And as I say, hearing from someone living in such a city, we don't hear enough of it daily. We have all these crap soap operas on. We have all these talk shows in the US, Oprah Winfrey. But can we just, I know she talks to real people, but it's
not
never
real people. She never talks to real people.
Right. She's talking to this frigging Meghan Markle right now, and I'm being careful with my words here. She's talking to Meghan Markle because Meghan's a bit upset with the royal family right now. But actually, they're friends, kind of. They're closer friends. She certainly knows. They know each other certainly more than I know either of them, for example. All right, and so I'm not saying that any of it was constructed, the conversation, but trust me, it was. Did I say that? Did that make sense? I think it did. Yeah, and the point is as well, I mean, while we're on that subject, my personal opinion, Prince Harry, Meghan Markle, they wanted out of the public, the limelight and everything. They didn't want to be in front of lenses anymore. All right, so they've bailed out of the royal family.
They wanted Hollywood lenses.
Yeah, right. They headed over to Hollywood, but meanwhile they want exposure there. What's going on? Listen, you can't have your cake and eat it. If you want it, have it. If you don't, you can't. Listen, so long as you're being authentic, right? If people then report on you and say to the world otherwise, I don't care what people say about me, because if people are stupid enough to believe something that's fabricated, that shouldn't be my problem. I have to say, hasten to add, though, I have experienced something in the last 18 months, 2 years, twice actually, when it comes to legal matters, where I was, in one instant, I was made out to be a liar in front of a jury in a court of law. 12 people found me to be lying as a witness. But you know what? The only thing that kept me sane was the fact that the person who was accused, who ended up being found innocent, I've had plenty of conversations with that person, and there's going to be even more so here over the next few months. And that person did sort of say to me, well, actually, Martin, you weren't totally wrong. Otherwise, the system doesn't work. I've gone on a total tangent there, but trust me, when you get 12 people and a judge telling you, sorry, I mean, I was actually a witness to a police case, and I was told, well, actually, what you're saying isn't the truth. It's it can derail you, actually, because if if you're telling the truth and no one believes you, what will they believe? Anyway, another story for another day.
Okay, so let's get back to was it Eric and Helga? So
yes, please. Helga.
How are you, Helga? What's going on? What's going on in your life? What's happening?
You just shared the story about the police.
Yes.
You're muted.
I had an experience yesterday.
No, I can't hear. Oh, there she is.
Do you hear me?
Yes,
I do now.
You were saying, Helga.
I said you were talking about a situation with the police just now.
Mm.
And yesterday, I had one.
A situation with the police. Okay. Tell us about it.
Tell us. Please do.
This is all about energy. Okay. This story about the police is all about my energy. Okay.
Okay.
Before we left from my small city to Eindhoven, I had an argument with my youngest son. And I was troubled if I should go to Eindhoven with him or not, because we were not on the same level. I was a little bit angry with him. But I choose to go to Eindhoven. And sorry, my other son, he just showed me this.
Okay.
So I saw a police man on a motorcycle standing aside us, and I felt that he was looking at us and that he would follow us. I felt it. So I just waved and I said hi, and we passed by, and I said to my son, look what is going to happen. He's going to follow us. He's going to stop us, and he's going to check us. And he did.
Yes.
And I have to practice what I preach. So yesterday was a special moment for me to stay grounded. Because we got a ticket.
A ticket for what? A ticket for what?
We were standing at a traffic light, and the car in front of us, he was on his phone, and the lights were green, and my son, how do you, the horn?
Accelerate, hit the horn. Yeah. Okay, hit the horn.
And the policeman was beside us, and at that very moment, he drove in front of us, and beside the motorcycle, it said, stop.
Well, the guy with the phone should have gotten the guy with the phone should have gotten the ticket, right?
Exactly.
So you know what? He had decided already that he was going to have a confrontation with you. He had already decided. Yeah. So he was gonna because you know what? You can find something with anybody. He was already decided.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know. But for me, the lesson in all of this is I have to listen more to my intuition.
Yes.
Yeah, I totally.
But another thing is, it's right. But I have to say one more thing is, you made contact with him, which might have been a problem. You made contact with him.
Yes.
I know you're probably feeling friendly, but he, as his job is, he's looking for something. So you made contact with him. You gave him the door to come in a little bit.
Yes, I know. I know.
So, but the person in front of you should have got a ticket.
I told them to.
Yeah, it's okay.
But I said it's okay. It's okay. I'm glad that I am able to pay this ticket. And I'm not going to spoil my day.
Yes.
The rest of my day for something that is not honest. It's okay.
You're paying his salary. You're paying his salary.
I'm glad that I'm a part of his salary. And when I get the ticket at home, I'm going to write on it, I bless you. And then I'm going to pay it.
Beautiful. Give that energy. Give that positive energy. Yeah, give that positive energy. Change it around. Change it.
Angry, exactly. And that is what you sent into the universe again. So I decided, I bless you.
Yes, absolutely. I'm with you there. Yeah.
This was my fault. I had to listen.
Well, no, you know what? Let me tell you something. You might have got a ticket, but your interaction with him might have changed his life. Because he felt your energy. I doubt that your energy was negative. I'm feeling that your energy was positive. So he felt that. And maybe he felt that he had to write the ticket because he felt he came so far. But I'm sure you have given him something.
Oh, yes.
That's what I hear from the story. So the little bit, the fine, maybe it's a bad thing you have to pay, but maybe it's not so bad. Yeah. That energy, I'm sure he felt you.
And you know, the money is also energy.
Passing it along. Yes.
I bless him with €100.
€100. Let me. I have to check how much that is worth here. 100.
It's probably about $111, Jimmy.
Okay, that's a lot.
111. What do you think? Is it right? Am I right? I think I'm close.
It's about 110, something like that. I'm looking in Japanese. Well, I'm looking in Japanese yen. I'm looking in Japanese yen. So let me see. United States dollar. 119. 119.
Jill, there you go.
Which adds up to 11.
Yeah, which adds up to 11. Thank you. I was just about to. Yeah, exactly. Can I just say, Jimmy, because I know your eyes all over the place here, listening to what Helga's saying and everyone else. Colin Porter is also standing by to have a chat with us. I don't think he'll be on camera. I might have got that wrong, but he's certainly there.
Get him on Colin. Colin's great.
He's there already. He's with us. Aren't you there, Colin? Right?
Yeah, in the green room. Yeah, let's get him on.
I think Colin's there. Oh no, I see what I still got to do. Press the magic button there, and
pull me out for a second.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, Colin, you're there now. Yes, I thought he was there.
Yeah,
anyway.
I'm here.
Cool.
I'm here, guys. How's it going? How's it going to Eric there? How's it going to the lovely Helga?
It's going good.
Great broadcast, guys.
Thank you. How's your week been?
Going so well. My week has been pretty good actually. I can't complain. I used to say mustn't grumble. It gets you nowhere. I just have to agree with what Helga said a couple of minutes ago there about energy and that. You know, we always get what we focus on. Of course, that policeman there, he's out there looking, he's scanning, looking for something negative, and this is the ideal opportunity. And as you rightly said, he pulled her over and he got to the point of no return, hadn't he? He was going to write that ticket. He wasn't going to look a fool. Bless him.
I've just read what Donald just responded with there, Colin. Maybe the officer had a quota to meet, basically. The comments on the screen for people to read. But yeah, who knows? You never know. It might be on a bonus payment scheme. But yeah. I do feel that once certain people have made their mind up in authority, they find it almost, if not impossible, to back down and be put right. And it will take... it'd take a whole too much of your energy to actually explain to them, or just, I say, prove to them, not that you should have to, that they are positively, if not definitely wrong. On that occasion.
Maybe ego kicked in, and by the time he'd spoken to Helga and realised his mistake, he'd come too far. He wasn't going to lose his self-respect.
Absolutely, I believe that.
John, Helga, how are you going to say that, Helga?
What I wanted to say is that he just plays his role. He just plays a role, and he don't even realize that it is not the role that he's playing.
Yeah, a lot of people do that, and they are actually they're like puppets playing a role. They've been trained, but the sad thing is a number of people I come across, often in like service industries, they don't use their initiative, and they're free to do so, but they don't. And it's very sad.
They're trained. They're trained to do that. Martin, they're being brainwashed. It's very difficult.
Trained, whoa. Trained, brainwashed, two different things.
Yeah,
because
that is not what I mean. That is not what I mean. We are not this body, okay? Mm-hmm. We came into this body. And I choose to take this role in this time and in space, to be a Black woman living in the Netherlands, being a mom of 4 sons. Mm-hmm. But I'm not this. This is a role.
Bless you.
On Earth, that's right. Yes.
I don't have to wait till I die to discover that I still am. Mm-hmm. So all of us, and even those police guys, are the same as I am, but they don't remember.
100%. No, they don't remember.
They're not aware. They're not aware as well. Is that what you're saying? As well as they don't remember, they're not aware. Exactly. Yeah, they're not currently in the moment. They're not aware that it is just a role.
Exactly. A few years ago, I didn't know that I was the one.
Yeah.
Who did it.
Yeah, and that was also indirectly what you just said there is indirectly what I was also alluding to with the number 11 earlier on, and when someone tells you and that's it. As you said earlier, just a reminder, Edward was saying you sometimes got to say something out loud to yourself and not convince yourself, convince isn't the word, but just it's giving yourself permission and acknowledging that others, if not just one other person, has given you permission to be or do what you want to do. And there's nothing wrong with it. Too many times as well. This is it. We leave school or whatever. We're always told, you've got to do this, you've got to do that. This job is no good, that job's no good. Listen, if being a dustman, a trash collector, is no good, then we would be in a bit of a mess right now. So thanks to all those trash collectors, the people are prepared to do all those dirty jobs, to get your hands dirty and clean up after all those messy people. They're more valuable.
I think the label of dirty is wrong. Like, here's another thing. Like, for the past 45 years, everybody has to be a doctor, a lawyer, and that's wrong. What you actually, for me, like, the farmer is way higher up on the importance level of our survival than a lawyer. Well, a doctor may be a little bit important, but yeah. But
exactly.
the food, creating the food is probably one of the top you're a top level job.
The fact is, I think is Helga possibly going to interject now and tell us that we're all important? It's just that we don't realize it. And many people have a bigger ego and a sense of, oh, I'm better than the person over there who's just making sandwiches for us to go and buy for lunchtime. And I'm much better because I am a lawyer. No,
we're all integral to that running of society, aren't we? We're all integral to it.
Exactly, Colin. And funny enough, I was having a conversation with Jimmy before we went live today, and suggesting, we were saying about the planet. And in fact, were we having this online? I think we maybe went live as well, Jimmy, saying how the planet may be, you were saying you don't think the planet's overpopulated.
No.
But I was suggesting that maybe certain areas are, and we need to kind of disperse that to overpopulated sort of area.
That might be true, but nobody has the right to say that we're overpopulated, so you don't have a right to live. Nobody has that right.
To finish my point, just like you might say, well, that little corner of planet Earth is really overpopulated. Say, for example, let's say China, because there's a lot of people living there compared to the land mass. And then you might look at say the Arctic for obvious reasons. It's not as populated by mankind, humans. However, if
you're free to move there, you're free to move there, Martin.
Right. Right, but this is the point I'm coming back to with Helga. Helga, this is a question more than anything. So what we're saying is, you've got these people who think they're better than others, such as lawyers, and solicitors, and barristers, and then you've got
not all of them think that. Not all of them think of that, but society has made it that.
Oh, what happened? I don't know. Something happened to the sound there, Jimmy. So what I was trying to finish saying was, as a question, perhaps, unfortunately, the energy isn't equally shared and dispersed between all of us when it comes to that confidence and us standing up, metaphorically or literally, and saying, I'm as good as you, and we're equal. And that's all I'm trying to say. Am I making a bit of sense? To anyone else?
Yeah, you're making sense. You're making sense. You're making sense.
A lot of sense.
Yeah.
Is there any chance we can bring Mr. John Powell up? Mr. John Powell.
There's more than a chance.
Yes, bring him in.
Yeah, John Powell. There he is. People, I didn't even see that comment, so thank you indirectly for indirectly pointing that out to me there.
I invited him.
Colin.
Hello, John. You're invited.
He's heard that. This is getting interesting. Not that it hasn't been up until now. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not on battery power. Otherwise,
I just wanted to latch on to is it Martin? ShineCast, what he said a few minutes ago about speaking out loud, giving yourself permission. It's amazing how powerful actually speaking out loud is. Even when we get caught up in that overwhelm, if we say what it is that we're trying to achieve out loud, we step out of that loop and we take control of ourselves again. It's an awesome technique. Awesome technique.
Thank you for that. No, and again, that's what's great about these sort of platforms, is that if you've got something to say, an opinion, etc., just this is how to start out. It's a bit like, well, self-publish, publish. Yeah, great. John's with us as well now. That's excellent.
No location. Where are you reporting from, John?
I am in Regina, Saskatchewan, in Canada. I've only got a couple minutes because I'm actually in the middle of my workday.
Okay.
But your guys' topic was so interesting, so I only have a couple minutes that I can chime in here. And this is a topic I'm super passionate about. We have conditioned ourselves since, what is it, the 30s? Or even before that, probably hundreds of years, that the person's value is based on the job that they do. So if you're a lawyer, you're top of society, or if you're a politician, you're top of society. If you're a trash bin cleaner, you're worthless, right? And so when you have conversations with people these days, they're now like, oh, well, what do you do for a living? Oh, you do that? Oh, okay, yeah, you're sweet. That's what you do. Go sit back down, right? When people ask you what you do for a living, you should just tell them, I pay my bills. I do my job. I pay my bills. Hi, I'm John. It's nice to meet you. Like, just don't even get into that situation.
Well, you know what? Okay, wait a second, John. I don't think there's a problem with saying what, as you said, a trash bin cleaner. The thing is, I'm interested in what you do. And if you say a trash bin collector, I'm still interested in what you do.
Because but a lot of people are not, Jimmy. They'll pretend they are. They'll say they are.
Wait a second. Every job, every duty, or everything that people do in life is interesting in a different way.
Right.
So that I don't. I'm still interested. I'm still interested. If you are, was it a garbage man, or you clean the park, or you clean? I'm very interested in what you do. I'm very interested in your interaction.
You also have to recognize that your mindset about that, while awesome and admirable, is a slim portion of society. The vast majority of society will judge your personal character based on the job that you perform,
which is completely wrong.
Right?
Completely wrong.
It's a crisis of our society. It's a crisis of everything, right? It changes how we treat people, and that's garbage.
Okay.
That's a bad way.
I think I'm make an example of one thing that flips that thing over. I think a lot of people, like farming, has probably not have gotten the in the past 30, 40, 50 years has not gotten the respect they should. But I think people are starting to realize, listen, you are a market-based, you buy your stuff, you don't make anything, you don't grow anything. If you don't, if the farmer doesn't exist, you do not live, especially in a city. So
but it is up to people like you and I that have this better mindset about it to I don't want to say educate and share, because that kind of leans to the fact that we think we're better.
Your eyes are open before somebody else's. That's it. They didn't have the opportunity to open their eyes.
It is our duty and our, I guess, societal responsibility to spread that type of awareness to other people, to kind of normalize treating people as though they are people and not an employee of a job that you particularly
not even people, spirit to spirit, soul to soul, spirit to spirit.
We need to normalize that. John, you're absolutely right. This is the thing, as you just said. And again, putting it in another way, Jimmy's view, he may agree with you and me that everyone is valuable, because we haven't been fooled and conditioned any other way, and we respect other people more than that manager who or that politician, and that's where the problem is. And for example, right now in the pandemic, what's more valuable to an elderly person that can't walk, can't go to the local stores and shops to feed themselves and buy essentials? Most valuable to them is their neighbor who says, oh, I'm popping up to the local store just down the end of the street. Do you need a loaf of bread? Do you need some milk? Do you need anything?
Soul to soul. Soul to soul.
Yeah. Instead of when you greet someone,
and she's not going to turn around and say, no, I don't want you to fetch it because you're only a dustman. She's not going to say, no, don't fetch that loaf of bread with me because you're only a dustman.
Correct.
So I need to bail. I need to get out of here. I got to get back to my work day. But
thanks, John.
But
okay, again, I know you don't want to be asked, Don. I know you don't want to be asked, but what do you do?
Okay, what do? I work as a tech support customer service person. So I deal with really dumb problems and try to fix them for people.
Can I ask you, like, what kind of situation? What kind of company? What kind of tech support for what kind of company?
Well,
is it secret? Is it a secret?
It's one of those things I'm not allowed to actually say the company itself that we contract for.
A contract. Okay, so maybe you could be doing something else on a different day, depending on.
Yeah. Okay. But I don't.
Okay. So it's on. Okay. So you're typing. Your job is typing, basically.
Well, actually, no. My job is set. Okay. So Pieces of my job are typing, pieces of my job are tech support, but my job is to solve a problem for you that you have no idea how to solve.
Okay.
And on top of that, to de-escalate you and help you feel better about it and about yourself for having not known the answer. And I found the answer for you, and you still come out feeling like a winner at the end. That's my job.
I understand.
The way is how I get there.
You're absolutely right, because there's been times where I have called and been tech support, and I have been a real asshole. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Hey, it happens. You know, the thing that people like me hate is when I get an hour of those back to back to back. That sucks. But I mean,
I'm sorry.
At the end of the day,
I'm sorry.
what I'm going to say is, because I have to go. At the end of the day, what I was going to say is,
thank you.
Like when we meet somebody new or someone you know, right? We need to normalize something. This is a firm belief of mine. When you come up to somebody and you say hi, we should say, "How are you? How are you? How are you living? What's going on?" And genuinely mean that. It's not just a greeting. It's, I want to know about you. I want to connect with you. How are you doing?
Exactly.
Right. Especially now with the virus and COVID and all the isolation and marriages falling apart. Mental health is in the toilet right now globally.
Right. It always was, wasn't it? And that's the point as well, John. It always was, and now because they have to acknowledge it in government and authority, so now they're coming clean with us and saying, well, actually, yeah, we know there's going to be an even bigger problem, you know, in 12
It's not going to be. It's already upon us.
I know.
It's already upon us. Suicide rates have went up. The last time I checked was 60% globally.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Colin, can we have a final word from you? Sorry, because I know.
Gotta go. Have a good day, everybody.
Thank you very much, John.
Thank you, John. Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Thank you. Stay safe more than anything. That was the wonderful John Powell there. Good to see you joining us for the first time.
Colin says, Eric, I have to fly to. Oh,
Colin,
well, okay. Colin, sorry.
That's why I was trying to also say to Colin, if he wanted to say anything final for today's broadcast, he does have to go.
I just want to say that it's a great broadcast that you got here, guys, and I'm so grateful that you invited me up. But I will stay a little bit longer next time. But
thanks,
keep up
Colin.
the good work. It's a great show. Take care.
Stay safe. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Colin. Bye.
Colin from England, and we still got Eric there in the United States of America. There is that
and
right?
Helga's here. Let's put Helga's there too, right?
In mainland Europe. Hold on just a second there. In Holland, right? Let's have a look there. Jimmy, the technologies just have taken. We're getting the better of me somewhat, but let's see. There you go. There you are. It's gradually getting figured out. Goodness me, what is happening? Okay. Thanks, Helga. Giving me
so much to talk about. It's so much to talk about. It's a shame that it's very difficult. There's so much to talk about.
There is.
I'm coming to the end of my bottle.
Oh, does that mean? Oh, really? Well, actually, don't forget as well. You came to the end of your Friday because for
well, I'm in Saturday already. I'm in Saturday already.
I know exactly. That's what I'm just reminding everyone. This is what's crazy about all of this is that I mean, here we are. You're talking to us, and we're so yesterday for you, Jimmy. It's still Friday night 5.
I have to work in a few hours. I have to go to work in a few hours.
So you're leaving your own broadcast very soon as well.
Well, yeah, I want to stay long. I want to stay a little bit longer to make sure we talk to everybody and say greetings. Yeah.
Sure. I'm just interested to know from Eric. Eric, have you been broadcasting on this type of social media, live video or recorded for a long while? Or is it something new that you've embraced?
It's pretty new for me. I've kind of felt the calling through spirit to guide me in this direction, but I wasn't seeking it out. It came up synchronistically, talking about the 11s and the 22s and the 33s. Like when I first saw you, Sean, and then I saw that y'all invited me up, I'd really, right before I got the invite, I felt a real connection with you, and I wasn't quite sure what it was. And then when you brought up the 1122, those numbers I've been guided to through spirit, through numerology. It said, there's this thing called numerology, and you've got the different versions of it, but spirit was like, you need to look up Chaldean numerology. I was like, Chaldean, what is that? And,
what is that?
So I looked it up, and it's a real thing. It's and Spirit had been talking to me about the Magi for a few years, and so when I looked up Chaldean, it was numerology that was created by the Chaldeans, who were the people that the three Magi that went to Jesus' birth or whatever, were Chaldean Magi, and it's one of the more elusive or unknown numerologies, but even in the numerology community, apparently it's the most accurate or powerful numerology. It's a little different, like the Pythagorean. You've got A is 1, B is 2, and you go up, and then you divide it, and you start the number process. So these are a little bit more dispersed, but talking about the 22 and the 44, and if you look under the number 4 in the Chaldean, the letters are D, M, T, which, if you know about dimethyltryptamine, then you
Yes.
know that's the spirit essence or liquid, which is what Christ was called. Christ means to be christened or crowned. And so that's something that we all have the ability to do. We all have the ability to enact our pineal gland and secrete these sacred elixirs, if you will, and they go down to our spine and come up all 33 degrees of our spine, which is how long Jesus supposedly lived. So, I think it's very indicative of what we're talking about here, or what y'all have been speaking about is, the world has come into this COVIDs, and the world has, been told to operate with authority and man's laws over the laws of the jungle, and that we place so much value on certain professions when it really comes back to, like you said, Jimmy, the spiritual connection that we all have, and we all should be conveying soul to soul, because when we do that, we'll all accept our own individual roles. We need the farmer, we need the trash picker upper, we need the lawyer. Well, maybe we don't need the lawyer once we all learn how to actually get along and value one each other. But it comes to these spiritual connections. And I did a Wisdom Wednesday the other day and Googled, and it was interesting how everything ties back to that divine connection. And I was told through Spirit to go to the Chaldean, and when I looked up my name, my first name Eric adds up to 11, and then my last name Hypes adds up to 22. You put the two together and you get the master number 33, which, the Masons just stopped at 33. It keeps going, 44. Yeah. So,
what was your day of
whether
birth,
that's your role.
What day were you born on?
March the 15th, the Ides of March, at 2 Brute.
The Ides of March. Yeah, actually, I was talking about that only yesterday, actually. That's strange. Yeah, for 10 days' time.
So yeah, it's everything has beautifully been orchestrated to, in this time that we're stepping through, is to stand up, like y'all were saying. And the best way we can step up or stand up is to acknowledge who we are. If we don't know, find out. And then, in that awareness, we stand up together, and we come together as a world and a community, a planet. And like Jimmy was saying, it's not too many people on the planet. We just got too many people that are holding on to the money, because money's energy and it likes to circulate. And when people hold on to things, that tends to be in the realm of attachment. And when we're not attached to things, then we can freely love and give ourselves to anything and everything, because a lot of times we have to learn wisdom through negative, or what we might perceive as bad experiences, to help us to grow. And so I feel like that's what we're going through now. And once we all start to acknowledge it, we're all going to kind of start stepping into this acknowledgement for ourselves, and value ourselves, and be able to love ourselves, because, I am you, you are me. And when I can hold that frequency, why would I want to treat you any less than the way I would want to treat myself?
Absolutely.
I can't disagree with much of that at all. I like Donald's comment about the fact that on a high level, it's not that we need or do not need lawyers. We actually don't need laws. Well, I think there needs to be some sort of baseline for some regulations.
Well, we
whether
have
you're
a
in native.
consensual agreement. It's a consensual agreement. Consensual agreement. I know America is a little bit different because we have a lot of different cultures coming from a lot of different places. So, I hate to say laws, but there has to be some kind of like written thing, like you can't do that, you can do this to a certain extent, because we have so many different cultures, and that's the beauty. A lot of people will look at it as a negative thing. I look at it as a positive thing, and that's why America does lead the world in a lot of things, because a lot of people, the communication happens in America. I mean, that's just the honest truth, whether you agree with it or not. A lot of the communication of the world happens in America, from different cultures, different parts of the world. It all happens in America, negative or positive. It's the truth.
Okay.
Yeah, a battery has to have both poles, the negative and the positive.
Absolutely.
You can't get it without.
It's about that.
The thing is, I think. Did we lose Helga?
No, she's.
Oh, okay, I see her. She doesn't want to say anything right now. You don't have to say anything if you don't want to. Yeah. I think that, I think looking at negative as bad is probably not the correct way to look at things. To look at negative as bad and positive as good is not the only way to look at things. It's just a cycle, and there's two sides of it. So, in Japan, when you go to temples and shrines, you take this like this fortune. You can pray, and then you pick this fortune, and there's different levels. There's daikichi, which means the top, and there's kyo, which is the bottom, and there's the middle is kichi, and there's a lot of things in between. And I don't think you can take just because it's the bottom that it's negative, because we go in waves, we go in cycles in life. So if you get your fortune that's at the bottom, that just means that the only way you can go is up. So just because you're at the top doesn't mean it's the best. It just means you've reached this part in the cycle, and so you go back and forth. You go up and down. You have to experience all of these was at a points. You cannot just go in a straight line. It's just impossible in life. It's just not the way it works. And if you were the only one alive, maybe you can go in a straight line because you communicate and you have to deal with many different people, and you interact with many people, that you cannot go in a straight line. That's just not the way life goes. And it would be very boring if we went in a straight line. So that's my case. You cannot go in a straight line. You have to go up and down and all around to experience all the greatness of life. And when sometimes it might feel there might be a little bit of struggle, but it's not a negative thing. It's just a different thing.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah. You can't experience all the emotions unless you can't experience the great emotions if you can only experience all of them. It'd be very boring if we just went in a straight line and everything was perfect and everything was safe. Yeah. I don't want to live a safe life. I want to live a life which is everything, including the high moments and the low moments. And because we have both of them, that we can see the difference between them, and we can experience that emotion. What did Martin? Did Martin disappear? I think did he fall out? Sometimes the connection in England is very bad. The internet connection is very bad in England. I don't know what's going on there. They conquered half the world and colonized half the world, but their internet sucks. It's true.
Yeah, it all went blank there for a second for me.
Yeah, he's gone.
Came back.
He's gone. How was it the Netherlands? How is the internet connection in the Netherlands? Is it good, Helga?
Oops.
Oops.
Well,
it seems like it's good. It seems like it's good.
It's good.
So England just sucks.
But sometimes it freezes also. So I don't know.
You're on mobile. You're on mobile, so that's a big thing too. You're on mobile. So,
yeah,
but You seem very stable for mobile. Martin, he has a problem all the time because of mobile. Oh, there he's back.
Yeah,
I'm
but
I'm
my
I'm I'm
I'm back.
I'm I'm talking
Did I go
shit about
anywhere?
you, Martin. I'm talking shit about you and your connection, your internet connection.
Just my internet connection.
It's such a bad, everybody else has a great connection. It's only England. What's up with England? It colonizes
Yeah,
half the world, but it can't get the internet right.
I know. Crazy, isn't it? We're at the early stages of the internet now, just like Haps is. But yeah, we don't have
So
great
it's only
internet here. Go to South Korea if you want good internet.
well, the internet as we know it is only about 25 years old. It's very funny that the mobile device, the smartphone, is really, since was it a iPhone 1, it's only been about 10, 12 years. Isn't that incredible?
Yeah.
That we're
Why did you go
so
10, 12 and you missed out the important one in the middle, Jimmy? Come on.
I was thinking the same thing, Martin.
Come on, I don't. Come on. There's no point in denying it, Jimmy.
Okay,
That's
well, you
just
know what?
not gonna help.
Let's check, because you might be right. It might be 11 years, but I think it was what was it? Probably 2008 or 2007, wasn't it not? Let's see, iPhone 1. I'm going to check it right now. I know there was already the BlackBerry already, so
I think we just
iPhone
moved
1
to
2008.
12. All right, yeah, exactly. Just
2008.
moved to,
Yeah, 2008. So
okay.
it's amazing that it's only, was it 13 years old. 13 years old, and we're so attached to it. Like, we can't imagine like the life before the mobile phone.
There you go.
I can't find where I am without the mobile phone anymore.
Well, didn't you have a set of keys where you used to whistle and it used to go beep 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 beep?
Okay, I think all four of us on this broadcast are old enough to remember that more than 20 years ago that you had like 20 or 30 numbers in your head. You had to call a friend, and you had 20 or 30 or maybe 50 numbers in your head. You could go beep 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 beep. And most of you don't have that anymore.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have that anymore. You can't remember. I can't remember my own number. I can't remember my own number. If you ask me for my phone number, I have to bring up the file or look on my phone to tell you what my phone number is. We're attached to it now.
I've got to be honest with you. I don't need to, and my number adds up to 11. As I was saying,
my God.
my landline adds up to 11, and my cell number adds up to 22. This is mad, as I say. Very strange times.
On purpose? On purpose?
No, not on purpose. Totally coincidental.
It came to you. It came to you. That's just the way it came.
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, yeah, absolutely mad. Yeah.
Well, anyway, Martin, I want to talk forever, but I honestly I have to go to sleep because I have to work in the morning. I'm teaching English in Japan, so I have some early lessons tomorrow morning. I hope that Helga and Eric can join us again. I know, and Helga said that she's going to start. You're going to start something too, right? You're planning on.
Yes, I plan to go live in a few.
Do it.
So, Eric, if you are available.
She's talking to you, Eric, now. I think Eric is listening.
Yeah.
Are you listening?
We'll be there to support you, Helga, for sure.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm gonna finish cooking my breakfast, and then I'll be ready to be able to come back on.
All right.
Beautiful.
I'll wait for you.
Thank you, Jimmy. It was great to meet you too, Martin. Helga, always, I love you, and I'm definitely. I've enjoyed this conversation. Love to be a part of it again in the future.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I hope we all meet again. I'm sure we will. In this,
hope is not a strategy.
Yeah.
Next now, again, please do.
We're going to do it. We're going to do it.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you to everyone that's taken today. All the comments. There was Randy, of course, earlier on. There was John, who we spoke with a short time ago. Edward as well. Too many people. Well, not enough people, actually. Too many. That's definitely the wrong thing to say. Thank you, Helga. We'll take you out the frame now so you can get on with the rest of your whatever it is you're getting on with. And the same to you, Eric, as well. Thank you so much for joining us. To both of them. Stay safe.
Thank you. Goodbye. It was nice. It was great meeting you both. It was great meeting. Love.
Good meeting you both.
Love.
So I can just about say I did have a problem with my internet connection towards the end of this. Actually, Jimmy, I did. Still do kind of have a little bit. So it's a bit. It's going to be an interesting exit from this broadcast. But I think we can just about get to the point where we'll be able to roll the titles safely and securely. Everybody, please do share, like, and follow. Please do. Great things happening in the future, as well as today here on ShineCast. Do follow Jimmy on @JimmyHeaven. Yeah, he's definitely there. Terrible when he gone quiet because, yeah.
No, I'm here.
Good. That's good. And so if you want to join myself, if you love all things UK, England, London, want to stay connected because I'm going to be out and about mobile much more over the coming days, weeks, etc., then follow me at Martin Shine, and you know it's just Google. Otherwise, it's Facebook or Twitter, the usual things. But in the meantime, as I say, stay safe, everyone. Until next time, this has been ShineCast, and if not before, well, Jimmy will be joining me in a week from now. Bye for now.
Next week. See you next week. Bye. I'll see you on the other side, Martin.
On the other side, Jimmy. On the other side.
On the other side.
Are we sort of there? I'll tell you something. It's very berserk what's happening with the technology, but I know we got out of that just in time in terms of the technology, internet wibble and all that stuff falling over. Yeah, if you haven't got you need a space shuttle at the moment to use apps if you're on desktop. Mobile Helgar signal is very good. Everybody, Jimmy, Takara says to Jimmy, that's what I hear. I was only a thought. I was only a thought, but maybe one day I'll get to see for myself. Hey, what? Hey, what? Jimmy,
because her name is Japanese.
Uh-huh.
So her name is Takara, which means treasure, and it's because her parents were living in Okinawa, which is the southernmost island in Japan. So that's why I thought maybe she was part Japanese, but no, I guess her parents were in Okinawa. I don't know if it was service, probably maybe military service, maybe they were living there, maybe they were visiting there, but so I just before the end I just said Okinawa is a great place, which is great. It is great. It's great.
We got to stop there, Jimmy. Otherwise, people will think we're
okay. I'll see you on this side, Martin.
Thanks for watching,
everybody. See you next week.
Bye for now. Bye.